One more life to live for the Lincoln Memorial University Rail Splitters and the Cobras of Coker University. Hello and good afternoon, everybody. I'm Rusty Peace, live from the Lincoln Memorial University Soccer Complex. And the two teams here today playing in the 2013 Food Line South Atlantic Conference Men's Soccer Tournament quarterfinals. And this will be a battle, to say the least, here today, folks. The last time these two teams met, that was way back during the regular season on September 14th. That was in Hartsville, South Carolina. LMU and Coker played to a 2-2 tie following 110 minutes of play, in which neither team was able to break that stalemate. Of course, you know, that kind of set the tone for the Rail Splitters in terms of a lot of the conference play. That was LMU's third overtime match of the year. Since that time, they've played two more for 5 overtime periods. And today, both LMU and Coker have their backs to the wall as they try to advance not only in the South Atlantic Conference Tournament, but to keep their postseason hopes alive. Now, as you may or may not know, the South Atlantic Conference does not have an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. So if either of these teams have any realistic expectation of getting to the NCAA tournament, they have got to win here today. And for the most part, they're going to have to probably go on and win the South Atlantic Conference tournament. And even at that, it's not a for sure that they'll get into the NCAA tournament. We're going to take a brief timeout. When we come back, we'll look into today's match between Lincoln Memorial University and Coker. That's when we return right here on the LMU Sports Network.
Looking for efficient, compassionate, and comprehensive health care for you and your family? Visit University Medical Clinic. All providers are faculty members of LMU's DeBusk College of Osteopathic Medicine and are board certified in their specialty. Multiple specialties available including family medicine, pediatrics, OBGYN, and osteopathic manipulative medicine, with locations in Harrogate, Tazewell, and New Tazewell, and most insurance plans accepted. University Medical Clinic is here to serve you. Call 423-869-7193 for an appointment. University Medical Clinic. When you're traveling throughout the Tri-States, stay smart at Holiday Inn Express of Middlesboro. With nearly 60 rooms to choose from, fitness center, full complimentary hot breakfast bar, and seasonal pool, Holiday Inn Express of Middlesboro is all about catering to your travel needs. Our rooms are all equipped with flat-screen TV, refrigerator, microwave, and we're conveniently located just seconds from the area's attractions. When you're on the road, stay smart at Holiday Inn Express, located on the Cumberland Gap Parkway, Middlesboro. Make reservations today by calling 606-248-6860.
Juggling my family schedule is a full-time job. Between school, dance practice, work, there's little time left to worry about much else. That's why I use real-time banking from Home Federal Bank. With real-time banking, I know that when I make a deposit, the money goes straight to my account. No delays, no waiting, no wondering. And I get to focus on what's important.
Real-time deposits, real-time access, real-time banking. From Home Federal Bank, always within reach.
It's the Old Town Grill.
The Old Town Grill is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grill, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
No matter whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Subway of Harrogate and Middlesboro has your fresh interests at heart. On your way to work, try one of our mouth-watering breakfast sandwich or flatbread omelets. If it's lunch or dinner time, choose from our wide selection of classic, select, or premium sandwiches, all made to your order. If you're serving a crowd, Subway has sandwich platters, giant subs, box lunches, and even cookie platters. Whether it's dine in or carry out, you can eat healthy and eat fresh at Subway. Subway, 362 Catawba Avenue in Harrogate, and on the corner of the Village Square Mall, Middlesboro.
Since 1973, DeRoyal has been a leader and an innovator in manufacturing products for the healthcare industry. DeRoyal supplies more than 20,000 products and product lines such as acute care, orthopedics, wound care, and trauma. DeRoyal is proud to be the largest supplier of orthopedic soft goods to clinics and hospitals in the nation. Since its start in Tazewell, Tennessee, DeRoyal has grown to open factories in over 29 locations worldwide and employs over 2,000 people. DeRoyal, a name you can trust and an employer you can count on.
The Rail Splitters capped the regular season on Saturday at the LMU Soccer Complex, dropping a 1-0 decision to the Bulldogs of Wingate University. Guy Andrade took advantage of a penalty kick in the 81st minute to pace the Bulldogs to victory. Lincoln Memorial was outshot in each period, finishing the match trailing 22-15 in the category. For Coker, well, they arrive in Harrogate playing well right at this time as they have won 4 straight matches. Most recently, the Cobras bested Brevard 6-1. Now, the Rail Splitters and Cobras met, as we mentioned a little while ago, for the first time on September 14th of this season, playing to a 2-2 draw in Hartsville, South Carolina. LMU and Coker matched each other with 12 shots apiece, while the Rail Splitters tallied 8 corner kicks to 7 for Coker. So very similar styles of play for both of these teams. Let's take a look now at the starting lineup. First of all, for the visiting Cobras from Coker University. They represent the 5 seed in this tournament, and they were just really on the heels of the Rail Splitters in terms of league play. Fernando Bedoya will start at defender, a 6-foot junior out of Miami, Florida. Jordan Snell starts at midfield, 5'9", and a junior out of Palm Bay, Florida. At the midfield position, it'll be Chris Martin, 5'8", and a freshman from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Tony Quiroz will be at midfield, 5'9", and a junior from Miami, Florida. Steven Scriven starts at defender, 6 foot, a senior from Tampa, Florida. Also, Matt Taylor, he'll be at the midfield position, 5'10", a junior out of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Daniel Jackson starts at forward, a 6'1", senior out of Silver Springs, Maryland. Noah Gully will also play forward, a 6'5", freshman out of Pawleys Island, South Carolina. Brendan McCarron starts at defender, a 6'1", senior out of Tampa, Florida. Atticus Lum will start at defender, 6'5", and a senior out of Advance, North Carolina. And in the net for the Cobras, it'll be Kendall Cobb, a 6-foot freshman out of Oviedo, Florida, head coach of Coker, Paul Lease. Rail Splitters starting lineup for today looks like this. Marcel Barbanitz at goalkeeper, 6'1", and a junior from Berlin, Germany. At the defender position, it'll be Callum Holmes, 6 foot, and a senior from East Kilbride, Scotland. Yuri Passo starts at midfield, 5'9", and a junior from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. George Byrne will play the forward position, 6'2", a freshman from Carlisle, England. Mario Pinto hoping to get up there and score another goal to maybe break that record by a couple of individuals, Frederico Mujian and John Payette. He's a 5'11" senior out of Uberlandia, Brazil. Alessandro Leo will start at midfield and forward, a 6-foot freshman out of Brazil as well. Harry Solomon starts at defender, a 5'8" freshman out of Leicester, England. Nathaniel Johnson will start in defense, a 6-foot sophomore out of London, England. At the midfield and defender position, it'll be Gus Rivera, 5'8", a junior from Maryville, Tennessee. Keegan Sanders starts in the midfield, 5'11", a freshman from Kennesaw, Georgia. And Bryson Lynn will start at midfield, a 5'8" freshman out of Hendersonville, Tennessee. One of the good things to see today, Callum Holm back in the starting lineup after having to serve 1-game suspension for getting his 5th yellow card of the year. But the down note to the whole thing is that LMU playing without the services of Leonardo da Silva, who is out after suffering his 5th yellow card against Wingate on Saturday. Let's break away, and we'll be back for the opening touch. This is the LMU Sports Network.
Money Magazine recently ranked physician assistant as one of the top 5 jobs in America. Your career path to becoming a physician assistant begins at Lincoln Memorial University. PAs diagnose and treat patients and provide patient education, among many other responsibilities. At DeBus College of Osteopathic Medicine at LMU, you'll experience hands-on training in a state-of-the-art medical school. Receive a Master of Medical Science degree in Physician Assistant Studies upon completion of the 27-month program. Join the healthcare team. Your career path is here. For great food, fun, and entertainment, visit the Oasis on Highway 25E in Harrogate, Tennessee, with a new drive-thru to better serve you. At the Oasis, you can enjoy a great lunch buffet or order from the great menu that the tri-state area has grown to love. Pizza, salad bar, and a tasty sandwich from the deli. And don't forget your favorite beverages. Check out the live music each week at the Oasis, where regional and local bands strut their stuff to a packed house. Or stop by and catch the big race on the big screen. All roads lead to the Oasis. 6341 Cumberland Gap Parkway in Harrogate, Tennessee. Phone in your order, 423-869-8000.
We are back once again at the LMU Soccer Complex as the Rail Splitters and Cobras prepare to square off in this quarterfinal round match between the 4 seed and the 5 seed in this year's 2013 South Atlantic Conference Men's Soccer Tournament. Earlier in the week, we had the opportunity to talk with Heli Odana about today's match with the Cobras. Let's just listen to what he had to say.
Yeah, it was such a long time ago that we played Coker that it almost becomes a completely different situation, you know. Yeah, it was such a long time ago that we played Coker that it almost becomes a completely different situation. We're not the same team. They're not the same team. We're not even playing the same people or formation. Neither are they. So sometimes in conference, and the way that our conference is, that you start so early. When you see the team that you first play early in the year, the second time, it's almost like you need to scratch everything and start all over. But I think the way they play really hasn't changed. They're a possessing team, and so are we. So normally these are fun games to be a part of, and really to watch. I hope people will come out, but we will have to basically be 90 minutes, hopefully just 90 minutes of focus, because they have a lot of weapons. They can score goals. At least it's not going to be that physical a game. That's a good thing. But we really need to score first. When we played at Coker, we got scored on twice. They were up 1-0, then 2-1, and we dug ourselves out of it, but I don't want to do it again.
Your camera operation today by Thomas Miracle, Sofia Lopez-Miamendi, and Adam Crawford. Your technical direction here on site by Adam Plyler. Your floor director, or in this case your field director, is Adam Haley. Your executive producer for the broadcast, Tony Spinoza. I'm Rusty Peace. This is a production of Sigma Communications and product of the LMU Sports Network. LMU and Coker, quarterfinal round of the 2013 SAC Men's Soccer Tournament. The winner advances to the semifinals, which will be played later on this week, and I believe that'll be on Friday in Rock Hill, South Carolina. We are also Adam Haley on the camera today, pulling double duties. We're just about set to get underway. 90 minutes of regulation, and Coker will have the ball to open first. Again, they represent the 5 seed in this year's tournament, LMU the 4 seed. And immediately the Cobras send it downfield on the direct play. LMU trying to get up there defensively. They're going to try to strike early, and that ball kicked off the end line by LMU's Yuri Passos. We saw the Lady Rail Splitters give up a couple of goals in the first 8.5 minutes of the match on Saturday with Wingate University, and what it did to that team, because in the second half they came out and dominated the match against Wingate, but they weren't able to dig out of that hole despite that 2-0 deficit. Then they pulled to within 1 goal, but they could not get back in the good graces. There's a whiffed shot by one of the Coker offensive players in the box, and now LMU on the break up the field as that ball is sent up to Mario Pinto. Pinto kind of creating for himself there as he uses his speed. That ball still in play. Pinto looking for the cross, can't get there, and that ball kicked out by Coker. Actually, no, they're going to say it was last touched by LMU, and that'll be a goal kick. Looked like the Rail Splitters might have an opportunity for a corner early, but apparently Pinto had the last touch of that ball. Lincoln Memorial, the 4 seed in this tournament. The race was so tight this year for the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place teams that it was really too hard to call until the final day of play, which was on Saturday. And literally, had LMU won, they would have taken the 2nd seed. If Wingate, they still had the opportunity to possibly even take the 1st seed, I think, going into Saturday's play, but they wound up taking the 2nd seed in this year's tournament. Only 8 of the 12 teams advanced to today's quarterfinal round action. 4 teams will meet over in Rock Hill later this week, and ultimately will be down to 2 and eventually 1. Here's Solomons from the near sideline, sending a ball up to Pinto. That's headed back into the feet of George Byrne. Pinto trying to create again, and that ball cleared out of there by the Cobras. These two teams very similar in their style of play. Coach Dana felt like this would not be as physical a match as what the Rail Splitters have endured over the last several outings. Sanders out of the defensive backfield now, coming up toward the midline, sends a ball up to Byrne. And it's knocked back by McCarron of Coker. Now for Coach Helio Dana, as soon as this match is over, he will immediately jump in his vehicle and head for Salisbury, North Carolina. It's about a 4 to 4.5 hour drive without stops. You'll get there in 4 hours. But the women's match later on tonight, 7 o'clock start, Lincoln Memorial Women and the Indians of Catawba. And that, too, is quarterfinal round action of the 2013 Food Lion SAC Women's Soccer Tournament. LMU in that case representing the 5 seed, where Catawba is the 4 seed. And so for Coach Dana, he will be on the road very quickly after this match, so we will not have a post game from him, win or lose today. Now, should the Rail Splitters win, we'll select a University Medical Clinic player, offensive and defensive player of the match, and we will talk to them following today's play. Byrne pressuring the offensive player hard, and apparently a foul call back there on Lincoln Memorial, so that will leave the Cobras with a free kick. Just underway here in Harrogate. Glad to have you with us on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon. Partly cloudy skies, a lot of sunshine today. Temperatures somewhat cooler, down in the upper 50s, maybe lower 60s if we're lucky. Long ball up the field, home heads it back. We're told that 60 degrees here is the current temperature by the Weather Channel. Here's Solomons, has his pass knocked away. Now he gets it back. Away to Lau in the midfield. Right side over to Byrne. Byrne crossing one into the box area, and the keeper comes up and snatches it up. That's Kendall Cobb of Coker. Punt across the midfield line. Headed back by Bryson Lynn. And a foul in the midfield area on Mario Pinto as he pushed off on the defender, that being Chris Martin. And so the Cobras will have the ball right there at midfield. Our final soccer broadcast of the season. We hope you have enjoyed this year of Lincoln Memorial University men's and women's soccer. A new addition to the LMU Sports Network. Kind of a late-minute thing. We really hadn't anticipated on broadcasting soccer this year. Cross in front of the goal. Barvanits laid out for it, got a piece of it, but it was cleared out of there by Callum Holm. And he is one of those last line of defenders to help the matters out. There's Nathaniel Johnson taking it away from the forward there by Coker, and that kicked off the inline, so that'll be a corner kick for the Cobras. First year in the league for Coker, and they have really come in and stepped up toward the upper echelon of the South Atlantic Conference men's soccer race. Finished as the 5 seed. There's 12 teams in the league, so not a bad start for Coker in the South Atlantic Conference. Johnson got ahead on it, far side. Again, that'll ride out of play, and that will be another corner kick from the opposite side of the field for the Cobras. Crossed by the Cobras, again picked up by Noah Gully of Coker. Cross into the box, dangerous shot across the crossbar. And Yuri Passos was back there in defense, but he was giving up a lot of size to the big man there in the box for the Cobras. I believe he is actually a defender, and that is Atticus Lum. 38-14 to play here in the first half, scoreless, and one shot on goal by Lincoln Memorial. Long ball intended for Pinto, headed back. Leal tries to get it, can't do it. And now the Cobras come down with it in midfield. McCarron drops back to teammate Fernando Bedoya. And now Leal intercepts at midfield. Plays it to the near side, ball stolen away by Jackson. And now Jackson will make a run on it up the near sideline. Bryson Lynn just taking his change out of the pocket. Beautiful ball up to Pinto that was read nicely by Steven Scrivens. Jackson again has it knocked away. Nathaniel Johnson steals it away for Lincoln Memorial. Played to the far side over to Rivera. Now back to Johnson and up to Passos. And he'll get something started here for Lincoln Memorial. Over to Johnson, far sideline. Sanders checks back to Johnson, across near side over to Holm. Holm trying to push up a little bit, finds Solomons, now back to Holm, and he'll drop back on it. Rail Splitters just kind of probing this Coker defense right now. Up to Passos. He'll try to carry a little bit of space. Across the midline. Has the ball knocked away. Got it back. Still trying to maintain possession of it. Now he'll use his drop back to Rivera. Over to Leao. LMU pushing ever so slowly up the field, just probing that defense. Lynn sends the ball up line. Trying to get there is Solomons. And that's going to come off of Solomons. Actually, no, they're going to say that it's off of Coker. So Bryson Lynn will have the throw in from right here on the near sideline. Lynn telling everybody to get toward the box area. He can throw it. Headed towards the box area. Pinto unable to turn. Goes up, and that's surprising that wasn't whistled dangerous play, as Pinto went up not necessarily with a bicycle, but he made contact with one of the Coker players, and that player getting up very, very slowly. Referee went back to check on him a bit, but he's up and running it off. I think once he saw he didn't get the call, he just decided to go ahead and get up. Chris Martin was the injured party. We're about 9.5, a little less than 9.5 minutes into this contest. Sanders bringing it down at midfield. Sends it up to Leao. He's trailed from behind under pressure. Pushed off the ball a bit and stolen away by the Cobras. Now Nathaniel Johnson getting it back for Lincoln Memorial. Across the grain to Solomons, makes his turn, looks upfield. Running out of options. Ball to Pinto, nicely placed. Pinto looking from the left side of the box, crosses in. And the ball picked up by the Cobras. On the break, this is McCarron. Pinto really active today, and a foul called on Lincoln Memorial as he got tied up with McCarron, I believe. McCarron going to the pitch pretty hard, and so that's another free kick for the Cobras. Elio Dana shouting instructions from the sideline. Lynn picks it up on the steal now to Solomons up the field. Taken down by Lum. Flicked across midfield. Passos will head it back into the Cobra end. Pinto up to Byrne. Byrne across to Lau. Up to Pinto. Pinto got one man to beat. And off the right side and in the post. Rail Splitters up 1-0. Pinto got just enough of it to give LMU the goal.
LMU goal by number 10, Mario Pinto.
And Pinto puts the Rail Splitters on top at the 34-15 mark. And folks, as we understand it, that goal breaks the all-time scoring record at Lincoln Memorial University with 49 goals, as he now surpasses John Payette and also Frederico Mujian for most career goals here at Lincoln Memorial. Mario Pinto in a class by himself now in terms of offensive firepower here at Lincoln Memorial in men's soccer. Now, a lot of times they don't count postseason stuff, but I think, I'm one of those guys, I'm a deer hunter, so it's on the antlers, I don't have deductions. You just total inches antler. It's, in this case, I don't care if it's postseason and you score goals, you got to count them in my book. But that may not be the official statement and stance on that. Passos up to midfield. Long ball for Pinto again. Headed by Byrne, and that stoppage in play. There will be a trip sent over there by the referee, and he is sending both players up the field. I don't think he's going to issue any cards, but he is cautioning them about the physicality of their play. He did call for a stoppage, though. Referee talking primarily with George Byrne, and Byrne not giving him any argument. He's just getting a clarification on what exactly he could and could not do. 33-31 to play, and we are in the first half. This is Lum up the near sideline. Passes it off to Scrivens, and again it's Solomons that gives him a little grief. Nice header by Bryson Lynn. Lynn drops back to Solomons after stealing it. Over to Leao, back to Lynn. Lynn looking for a little bit of help, uses his drop over to Holmes. Now he'll pass it far side of the field. and Gus Rivera will take over. 32:55 to go in the half. Here's Passos giving it near side to Lynn. His pass knocked away. Gets it back, gives over to Home. Far side over to Rivera. That gambled a little bit, and it's stolen away by the Cobras of Coker. Chris Martin with the steal. And now Leal gets it back for Lincoln Memorial. Ellie O'Dana saying that both teams are much different than they were back when they faced off in early September. Coker coming in here on a hot win streak, having won their last 4 straight, as we mentioned, as well as that 6-1 victory over Brevard. LMU trying to recover from last Saturday's senior day loss to Wingate University, the number 2 seed team. And it was a painful way to go down, really, because you know, you lost on a penalty kick in the 81st or 82nd minute, somewhere in that area. And, you know, it was a relatively even match. And you just hated to see it decided that way. But I guess if you were in an LMU uniform and it had gone the other way, the call had gone the other way, you'd probably been all for it. And I probably would have too. Passos pushes across midfield, gives out wide, far side of the field now to Rivera. His ball intended for, I think that's Keegan Sanders in the corner, but he just couldn't get to it. So a substitution for the Cobras. 31:20 to play in the first half, and going off for Coker is Noah Gully. The new substitution appears to be Kevin Arlania. Sanders picks it up after the throw in. Drops it back to Home. Home looking things over. He'll pass it out wide now to Lynn. He's under pressure. Back to Home. I'll tell you what, Bryson Lynn has really earned his starting position that he's had here over the last several games. Really didn't get much of a chance early, but boy, when he got in, he really started making things happen. Great ball across the middle. Pinto trying to bring it down. Sends it up to Solomons. Now out wide to Lynn. Lynn on the cross looking for Pinto. Couldn't get it there. And again, the Cobras defend well. That's Akeem Prendez with the steal. Long ball back to Passos. Barbanitz comes out and gets it. Yuri Passos holding up the defender a little bit by just stopping dead in his tracks. Here's Johnson over to Passos. Up to the midline. Solomons will check it back to Passos. Now over to Lynn on the near wing. Out to Passos. He'll push it up toward the midline. Sends it across the middle. The pass intended for either Rivera or Byrne. Either way, stolen by Coker. Solomon's trying to run it down. Nice pass across the field to switch it over to Scrivens. Pass to the corner. Scrivens is going to put a cross ball into the box. Headed toward the keeper right to the right post. I don't think that LMU's Marcel Barbanitz even thought that it had a chance of going. It was wide of the post, and I think he knew it from the beginning. Never made a move on it. One 0 Lincoln Memorial on the goal by Mario Pinto just a few moments ago. Passos probing somewhere around midfield. Home over to Johnson. Johnson, long ball up the far sideline, and that's going to tail out of play. That'll be a throw-in for the Cobras. You know, that's one thing. The possession for both teams has been pretty strong. We haven't had a whole lot of throw-ins here today. We've had several. We've probably had as many fouls as we've had throw-ins. Yuri Passos committing that one. And so, again, Cobras will take over right there around midfield. Ball sent up line. This is Jackson on the near sideline. Lynn kicks it away from him, and that will be a throw in for the Cobras near side of the field. Scrivens. Drop back towards midfield. Pinto puts him under pressure, kicks it away. And so with that, the Cobras will switch the field to the other side. Rivera standing up the offensive player. He splits the defense. And a foul called on Coker. Here's Solomon's being trailed by Jackson from behind. Leal dropping back now away to home. Gives it across to Passos. Passos looking for help. Drops over to Rivera. Now back to Johnson. Pinto being pushed around outside the top of the box. No call by the official. He was sandwiched between about 3 players. And now it's Coker on a run. They've got the numbers. Lynn stands up Jackson momentarily. Jackson will get it back. Plays it out wide near side of the field. And keeping it in play, that is Matt Taylor. Cross toward the box. Barvanits gobbles it up. And with that, LMU will push up the field again. So nice to have Callum Home back there in that defensive backfield. Not that the Rail Splitters played poorly, but you know what he's capable of as an all-conference player. You've seen him play for 4 years. He doesn't get rattled easily. Now you got Johnson back there as well. I mean, Gus Rivera has emerged as a great defender. Bryson Lynn, Yuri Passos kind of there in the defensive backfield as well, but he can move up there around the center mid position as well. So it's just it's a good mix. And now you got Harry Solomons that's able to push up a little bit toward the front of the midfield. Long ball. Callum Home tracking. He'll let it roll back to Barvanits. Barvanits won't even pick it up. Now he's put under a little pressure. Home sends it over to Passos. Pass intended for Byrne, checked out of play, far side by Bedoya. Throw in will come from the Cobras toward midfield. Taken by Leal. Ball cuts loose and sent directly long ball by Coker. LMU really getting after it defensively today. And that ball off the end line, it's going to be a corner kick, apparently last touch by Lincoln Memorial. Tell you what, I severely underestimated where the sun would be at this point in the afternoon over here. We've not started a soccer match really this early since the time changed, obviously, and the sun, I didn't believe, would be staring us in the face at this point in the day, and I did not bring my hat with me. Barvanits punches it out, ball being challenged. Staying with it is Leal, and he whiffs it on the way out, and that'll be a throw-in, I believe, for Coker. They're going to leave it now, and another Coker player will come over to throw it in. This appears to be Brendan McCarron. So the Cobras trying to lock it in here. They trail 1-0 in the first half. Throw toward the box, headed away by Home. Sanders will send it on out up to Pinto, and he'll rein it in. Pinto making his turn on the far sideline. Across now up to Byrne. Byrne looking for help. Plays the ball over to Sanders. Sanders checks back to Harry Solomons. Great run by Lincoln Memorial. Solomons on the cross right there off the foot of George Byrne. He was in firing position and just couldn't time it correctly. Passos gets it back. Up to Sanders. Back over to Passos. Now to Leao. Across in front to Lynn. Lynn will pick it up on the near sideline. Put under pressure immediately. Fights his way around the defender. Thrown down. No call by the official. Might have been better acting than an actual occurrence. I've seen Bryson Lynn. He doesn't get knocked down that easily, regardless of size. Johnson back there trying to help the Rail Splitters get their shape again. Possession so key with that Brazilian style of play, and so far the Rail Splitters have been excellent in maintaining possession today. Leao at midfield. Back to Passos. Over to Lynn, near sideline. Checks back to Passos. Got away from him a little bit, and Johnson will help him out. Clock down under the 22-minute mark of the first half. Here's Solomons at midfield. Checks back to Johnson. Again, LMU probing that defense. Lynn, first touch, not soft enough. Johnson will play it off the defender, and that comes off of Tony Quiroz, I beg your pardon. Passos back there in the defensive backfield. Sends the ball to Lynn near sideline. Pulls it in on the fly. Check pass up to Solomons. Trying to pass to himself. Got a little bit much on it, and that'll go out off the inline for a goal kick. A nice idea by the Rail Splitters, but need a little softer touch in that situation. And so for the Cobras, Kendall Cobb will step back there to send it upfield. 6-foot freshman out of Oviedo, Florida. All across the midline. Solomons will bring it down on the second ball. And that ball touched out of play back to Lincoln Memorial. I think Jackson got it last. Lynn will toss it into Passos. Passos up and across the midfield line. Jackson trailing him from behind. Splits the middle. Pinto now on a run to the box. Pinto undercut in the box. No call by the official. Knocked to the ground again on the hard defensive tackle. I think the second one was probably good defense. The first one looked to be no intent to play the ball. I don't know. It could have been legit, but didn't appear as though he made a whole lot of intent to play that ball. A couple of substitutions now for the Cobras, as it will be Chris Martin that goes off along with Kevin Arlana. And the new subs for the Cobras, as we try to track them down here. Hard to see the numbers. Looks like that might be Giuliano Andrade. And also entering the match for the first time, Corey Johnson, a 6-foot freshman out of Tampa, Florida. Giuliano Andrade, a 5'9" junior from Katy, Texas. Pinto battling at midfield. Byrne contesting. And dangerous. So actually a foul called on Lincoln Memorial. Some complaining by Tony Quiroz. And the official said, hey, I got it. You got the call. Let it go. Goal kick for Lincoln Memorial. Barbanitz is going to step back there and take it again for LMU. Folks, Lady Rail Splitters play tonight at 7 o'clock in Salisbury, North Carolina. You can catch that match via live statistics if you're, well, obviously you're not watching this live. This is a delayed broadcast. So it is live statistics at www.lmurailsplitters.com. Here's Holm. Up to Rivera. Tried to flick it back to Byrne, was unsuccessful. And now he'll battle with the defender, and I think the official is going to come over and again caution both players about the contact. That ball will go, in fact, to Coker. Of course, Leonardo da Silva hoping to get another opportunity to play. The only way that will happen is if LMU is victorious today. They'll fight one more day in Rock Hill, South Carolina in the semifinals. Cobra's working it around. Pass to the far side of the field. And that one last touched out of play by Coker's Matt Taylor. Here's Johnson. Knocks it around far side of the field. Rivera brings it down to the chest, then turns it over as that's Taylor that stepped up on it. Pass to the midfield area. This is Johnson. Cross to the near side. Scrivens takes over, and he's checked defensively by Solomons. Headed away at the top of the box by Holm. And now recovered for the Cobras by Brendan McCarron. McCarron, far side. Uses his drop. Drop back in the defensive backfield. It's Bedoya. Over to the near side. Here's Lum. Spreads it out wide and away to Scrivens. Pinto puts it under pressure. Knocks it around the defender. He's got some running room here from the left side. Pinto on the cross. Knocked away. Coming to the end line and kicked out off the sideline for an LMU throw-in. Pinto really pressuring not only the keeper but the defenders back there and making them scramble to deny a legit shot. And Bryson Lynn is going to step back there and throw it in for Lincoln Memorial. Ball toward the box. Burns swarmed defensively. Passos will bring it down on the fly. Gets top of the box, cleared out of there. And a foul called on Coker right outside the box. And so LMU with that set piece. And you can bet this is probably going to be a pretty big wall. "15 minutes to play here in the first half. LMU on top 1-0. 2 shots on goal for the Rail Splitters, none thus far for Coker. At least to this point, the LMU defense has been suffocating. Referee now saying that all things are going. It doesn't look like they've given them 10 yards, but and I think that's what Yuri Passos is saying. I don't think the referee marked it off. Passos trying to bend one to the right post and did a nice job of it. The keeper getting the hands on it and then grabbing it up. That's Kendall Cobb again, and that'll be the 3rd shot on goal for the Rail Splitters this afternoon. So Cobb content to lay it down, and now he'll kick it away as Pinto put him under a little pressure. Headed back across the midline by Holm. Lum gets up there and knocks it back. Actually, that was McCarron. And now on the run for the Cobras, this is Andrade. Here's McCarron, plays one towards the middle, and that ball checked out of play. That'll be Lincoln Memorial possession. .13:41 to go in the half. Rail Splitter throw in by Bryson Lynn. He'll go up line with it. And apparently a foul called on Lincoln Memorial, so possession awarded to Coker on the free kick. Lincoln Memorial still just very, very solid defensively. They've not really let a whole lot get over there toward the box area other than a couple of corner kicks. Here's Lum from out near midfield. There's the first ball in the box. Got Barvanich reading it perfectly. That ball was placed nicely right in front of Jackson, and Barvanich came out and snatched it before Jackson even realized he was there. This is where everything starts, right here in the backfield. Johnson over to Home, now over to Lynn. Lynn will check back to Home. Up to Passos, flicks it across midfield, intended for Pinto. Ball will be brought down off the head by Jackson. And now McCarron has it taken away by Passos. Pinto on the break. Pinto, great move off the left side, plays it across the field to Sanders. Byrne will pick it up. Byrne had it knocked away and recovers quickly, but now McCarron will take over for Coker. Two defenders. And Byrne called for the trip inadvertently, and that possession awarded again back to the Coker Cobras.
That's a nice dive right there. I was at a game and I said that's some good acting, give it our Grammy. But it was like Grammys are for music, not
Long cross to the near side. This is Scrivens. Drops back to Lum. Up to the midfield and away to Quiroz. Now far side. Good run by the Cobras. This is Bedoya. Into the box area. Home there to answer, and he just lets it roll out. Wise decision by the senior. And a stoppage in play, or at least a substitution rather, not a stoppage, but that will be Nick Bogeman checking in for Lincoln Memorial. Bogeman, a 6'2 freshman out of Johnson City, Tennessee, and he will replace Harry Solomons. Also checking in for Lincoln Memorial is Pedro Villa. Not sure who he replaced, at least for the moment. Might have been, I believe he actually came in for George Byrne. Check pass to Bogeman. Now back to Lynn. A lot of young players out on this field for the Rail Splitters. Johnson far side for Lincoln Memorial. Pass intended for Rivera. And that'll still be Lincoln Memorial possession. You know, Nathaniel Johnson only a sophomore in this lineup, so, you know, as strong as he's been defensively this year, you can probably see him being an all-conference type player before his senior year. Here's Sanders. A little deceptive at midfield. Plays it back to Home. Home across the midline. Up to Leao. Leao carrying some space, drawing some attention. Has it taken away. Jackson will flick it back, and that ball played out of off the near sideline. That'll be back to Lincoln Memorial. Apparently a foul on Lincoln Memorial, and so the Cobras will kick it away as we're under the 9-minute mark. Still first half of play, still 1-0 Lincoln Memorial. And Bogeman called for the harm there at midfield. Battling with Quiroz. Here's Lum. Plays it up to the midline. Quiroz backed off by Bogeman. Drops it back to Bedoya. Over to Lum. And to the near side of the field it goes to Scrivens. Jackson holding Lynn off. Fights his way around him. Passo's trying to slow him up. And a stoppage in play as Jackson and Passos got into a kind of a slight shoving match. And Passos getting very physical with Jackson in that exchange. And I think that's what prompted Jackson to push back on him, as he was very frustrated with the fact that he was being played so physically. No card issued, and the referees realize that postseason play is now up there, and they're while they're not going to tolerate a whole lot, they're not real quick to come out with a card on the on either team for that matter. So a set piece now for the Cobras. LMU with a wall about 10 yards off the ball. Jackson standing right on the ball. And now it's played over to Kuros, over to Jackson. Jackson off the right side of the corner of the box. Heading for the inline. That ball touched, I think, last by Coker. And Jackson and Passos still exchanging some unpleasantries there, as Jackson had the ball, wouldn't give it back to Passos, and threw it back toward the fence. Daniel Jackson, a 6'1" senior out of Silver Springs, Maryland. Passos, of course, for Lincoln Memorial, out of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Pinto with a header at midfield, but knocked down. The ball recovered by Sanders. He'll drop back to Johnson. Long ball up to Lau. Flicked over to Lynn on the near sideline. Lynn going up line with it. Here's Pedro Villa in the corner. Sends the cross right at the keeper, and the keeper jumps up and grabs it. Ball right in front of the frame, placed nicely, just maybe even a little too tight to the frame. Lund playing it back to his keeper, Kendall Cobb. Cobb looking upfield, sends it across the midline. Johnson will put a head on it. Headed toward the box area of Lincoln Memorial, and right there off the feet of Marcel Barbanitz. 6:30 to play in the first half. Passos to the far side, and Rivera will take over. Now checks it back to Passos. Up across midfield to Lau. Now back to Sanders. Sanders, long ball into the corner. The keeper will come out on it, and he'll grab it before anybody can get up to it. Marcel Barbanitz way out of the net right here. Barbanitz up line. Lynn drops back to home. Nice job by the Rail Splitters to recover. Didn't feel any pressure. They made it look like they didn't anyway. Leal checks it right into the defender, that being Corey Johnson, and his first touch not very good, goes out of play, and that'll be an LMU throw-in. Home over to Johnson. Now to Rivera, far side of the field. Checked up to Sanders. Over to Passos. Near sideline to Lynn. LMU working the open areas now. Sent back towards home. Home in no hurry to push the tempo here. In fact, just actually brought it to a dead standstill for a moment. Rail Splitters just using some clock and saving some energy here. From the far side, this is Passos. Long ball intended for Pinto. Checked back to the Cobras. Passos will bring it down to midfield. Makes a run on it. Sends it up through the traffic. Cleared out of there by Lynn, off the head of Lau. And I think they're going to actually call a handball on Lau. And I think Callum Holm might have had a couple choice words for that call right there, and the official said, "Hey, I'm not having any of that either." But they're saying that Lau got it with his shoulder, and that would be considered a handball. But Lau adamant that it was not even close to there. Under the 4-minute mark now. From the near sideline, this is Scrivens. Unbelievable right there. That was definitely an Oscar right there. He took a huge dive, Giuliano Andrade. Here's Scrivens, ready to send the ball from the point of foul. Lum back to Scrivens, near sideline. Crosses to the top of the 18. Sent to the left side, and a beautiful shot for a goal. And we are tied at 1 just before the first half comes to a close. Corey Johnson hitting the strike. Corey Johnson ties the match at 1-1. And Marcel Barvanits, as athletic as he is, laid out for that one, could not make the grab. And just like that, with only one shot on goal today, the Cobras have tied this match at 1 apiece. As strong as LMU has played defensively, it only takes one little breakdown or one little opportunity. And now things getting very physical out there between these two teams. Mario Pinto, now we've got a stoppage. Pinto being harassed a little bit over there and physically played, and he didn't like it a whole lot. And the official had stopped that to calm things down a bit. With 2:48 to play here in the first half, the Rail Splitters are back to square one with the Cobras. We said coming into this one, these two teams are very evenly matched. And that goal, proof positive of the case. Lincoln Memorial now with 3 shots on goal. The Cobras with only 1. Ball taken away by Coker. Passos will bring it down at midfield. Sends the ball to the top of the box. Leal trying to get there in position, but it's picked up by Lum and sent back out. Bogeman challenges, and Sanders will come down with it. Stolen back by Johnson of Coker. Sanders under pressure at midfield, up to Bogeman. Sanders hit hard, and a stoppage in play. And we might see a card on this one. Yeah, he is actually motioning for the Coker player to come to him, and I'm talking about the referee. And he's not talking to the actual player that made the contact. I think he's talking to the captains. If I'm not mistaken, Passos might be one of the captains. Might not, I don't know. But he's talking to, it appears to be Jackson and Passos. .210 to go in the first half. 1-1 your score after the equalizer by the Cobras' Corey Johnson. Ball by Passos will fall short of its mark. Jackson picks it up, heads it toward midfield. It is a 3-3 break right now. LMU scrambling to get back and get some numbers in there. Nice job by Yuri Passos to rip Jackson of his pocket. Passos is going to carry some space now across midfield. Sends the ball up into the box area. The keeper will come out on it. And Mario Pinto was pressuring hard with about 1:48 at that point to get a shot. Here's the kick by Cobb across midfield. Lynn goes up for the challenge. He's knocked to the turf, and he will get up slowly as that foul was called on Coker's Giuliano Andrade. And now another stoppage in play with 1:22 on the clock, and we're finally going to see our first card, and this is going to be for dissent. Andrade gets a yellow card for dissent because he was complaining about the call. The official had heard enough of it and thus decided to finally issue a card. As we've said, they've been in no real press today to give cards because they know postseason play is upon both of these teams, and you don't want to see somebody pick up a 5th card and have to sit out in the semifinal match of the conference tournament, but when you force the referee's hand, that's what's going to happen. So Callum Holm will send it from the LMU side of midfield. And he'll switch the other side over to Passos. Passos under pressure. Ball headed back at about third field. And now it's the Cobras on a run. Holm trying to stand up the offensive player. Sent across now by Andrade.
One minute remaining in half. 1 minute.
Don't quit!
Rail Splitters letting Coker possess a little better here in the last few minutes than they did throughout the majority of the first half. Header at midfield. Lynn checks it from behind. Stolen. Here's Lau. And with 29 seconds to play, the Rail Splitters will be on the defensive as Coker has a throw in. Ball comes in up the near sideline. This is Andrade on the end line. Stolen by Lau. Lau tripped up a bit, and they're going to award the ball back to Lincoln Memorial, but it will be really to no avail as you hear the final seconds of the first half tick off. LMU and Coker will go into the intermission tied at 1, and we're going to take a timeout, and we'll be back to look at your halftime statistics. This is the Lincoln Memorial University Sports Network.
No matter whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Subway of Harrogate and Middlesboro has your fresh interests at heart. On your way to work, try one of our mouth-watering breakfast sandwich or flatbread omelets. If it's lunch or dinner time, choose from our wide selection of classic, select, or premium sandwiches, all made to your order. If you're serving a crowd, Subway has sandwich platters, giant subs, box lunches, and even cookie platters. Whether it's dine in or carry out, you can eat healthy and eat fresh at Subway. Subway, 362 Catawba Avenue in Harrogate and on the corner of the Village Square Mall, Middlesboro.
Make K&K Metal Sales your only stop for all your residential and commercial metal building needs. For the past 23 years, K&K Metal Sales has covered the tri-state area with quality custom roofing and siding with many grades, gauges, and colors in stock. If you're looking for complete steel or wood building packages or steel or wood trusses, K&K Metal Sales can help with that, as well as heavy-duty custom carports. Great folks and great prices. Stop by K&K Metal Sales located at 6986 Cumberland Gap Parkway or call 423-869-4261.
At Farm Bureau Insurance, you can manage your auto, home, and life policies any way you want. If you like the internet, get a quote and file claims online at FBITN.com. If you like to take care of your business over the phone, give us a call. If you like to email, send us a message, and we'll take care of you that way. But if you like an old-fashioned smile and handshake at the door, come down to the local office.
The J. Frank White Academy is more than a high school. Your child will have room to grow in mind, body, and spirit. Small, safe learning environments, individualized learning plans, and cutting-edge technology. Every child deserves a quality education in a safe, nurturing environment.
Our college prep program teaches a love of learning, self-discipline, and service to others. The Academy is fully accredited by Advanced Ed. You have a choice at the J. Frank White Academy.
Today's broadcast of Lincoln Memorial University Soccer is brought to you by University Medical Clinic, with 2 locations to serve you in Harrogate and New Tazewell, Tennessee. University Medical Clinic. By Farm Bureau Insurance. By Old Town Grill. By Home Federal Bank of Harrogate, always within reach. Home Federal Bank. By Subway of Harrogate and Middlesboro. Eat fresh at Subway. By Holiday Inn Express of Middlesboro. Sleep smart at Holiday Inn Express. By Oasis Pizza and Substation. By DeRoyal, a name you can trust, a product you can count on. DeRoyal. By K&K Metal Sales. By Sleep Inn of Middlesboro. Dream better here at Sleep Inn. By the J. Frank White Academy. And by Lincoln Memorial University. Your career path is here. Whether traveling for business or pleasure, Sleep Inn and Suites of Middlesboro, Kentucky invites you to dream better here. Located at the foothills of the Cumberland Gap, Sleep Inn and Suites offers luxurious rooms equipped with microwave fridge combo, desk, ergonomic chair, wireless internet, and 32-inch flat-screen TV. While staying with us, visit our fitness center, wake up to our complimentary hot breakfast bar, or have a bedtime snack with our fresh-baked cookies. Sleep Inn and Suites, located off Highway 25E, Middlesboro.
I've been a hard worker all my life. It's just the way I was raised. I work the third shift. While most people are wrapping up their day, I'm just getting started. If I make a deposit on Friday night, I can't wait for it to go through the next week. Home Federal Bank's real-time banking is different. Real-time banking takes the worry out of banking. Lets me think about what's important.
Real-time deposits, real-time access. Real-time banking from Home Federal Bank. Always within reach.
All right, we welcome you back at the half here in Harrogate, Tennessee at the LMU Soccer Complex. Not really a whole lot to talk about in terms of offense here between these two teams. In fact, we are tied at 1-1. We've just been notified that the goal that was awarded to Mario Pinto at the 10:46 mark is now considered an own goal, and apparently that came from the LMU dugout. Pinto was under pressure. He was pressuring the defenders. Looked like it came off his foot, but apparently it did not. Went past the keeper off the right post, and thus an own goal for Coker in the Rail Splitters' favor. So it changes things a little bit in terms of the Lincoln Memorial statistics. Let's take a look now at the Coker statistics. Daniel Jackson with 2 shots. 1 shot for Atticus Lum, 1 by Corey Johnson, 1 shot on goal, 1 goal, and it was unassisted. Actually, no, they're saying here that Giuliano Andrade assisted on the long pass into the crowd that was placed past the keeper. For the Rail Splitters, it looks like this. Yuri Passos with a shot. George Byrne has 1 shot, 1 shot on goal. I guess that would take Mario Pinto's shot and shot on goal away as well as the goal. And so with that, the assist for Lincoln Memorial's goal would also be nullified. Alessandro Lau denied the assist as that is considered an own goal. Now, as far as the keepers go, again, I don't know. You got a goal against for Kendall Cobb. 2 saves to his credit. Marcel Barbanitz with 1 goal, no saves. He's really not been tested other than that 1 shot, and that was basically a kind of the starting factor in this match. So now when you look at it, although LMU has had, which should be 2 shots on goal now, they have not scored on their own, whereas Coker has shot on goal 1 time and has made it count. The only cards to speak of, well, Coker's received 1, and that is Giuliano Andrade. Received a yellow card at 43:38, and at the half we are tied at 1-1. The winner goes to the South Atlantic Conference Tournament semifinals on the 8th in Rock Hill, South Carolina. We'll break away and be back with the second half. This is the Lincoln Memorial University Sports Network.
Today's broadcast of Lincoln Memorial University Soccer is brought to you by University Medical Clinic, with 2 locations to serve you in Harrogate and New Tazewell, Tennessee. University Medical Clinic. By Farm Bureau Insurance. By Old Town Grill. By Home Federal Bank of Harrogate, always within reach. Home Federal Bank. By Subway of Harrogate and Middlesboro. Eat fresh at Subway. By Holiday Inn Express of Middlesboro. Sleep smart at Holiday Inn Express. By Oasis Pizza and Substation. By DeRoyal, a name you can trust, a product you can count on. DeRoyal. By K&K Metal Sales. By Sleep Inn of Middlesboro. Dream better here at Sleep Inn. By the J. Frank White Academy. And by Lincoln Memorial University. Your career path is here.
Halftime here at the LMU Soccer Complex as we prepare for the second half of play. 1-1 Cobras of Coker University, Coker College, and the Rail Splitters with 1 goal off of what is being ruled now an own goal from the LMU dugout. According to Coach Eliodana, Mario Pinto claims he did not touch the ball, so at least for the time, it is ruled an own goal, and we are tied at 1-1. Now, Rail Splitters did, in fact, as we're told, have 3 shots on goal in the first half, not counting that one. Coker with only 1. They made that shot count, and it was a nice goal that Marcel Barbanitz tried his best to deny, but just could not get there. And so with that, 45 minutes of regulation remaining here in Harrogate as the Rail Splitters and the Cobras of Coker fight it out to see who will advance to the South Atlantic Conference Tournament semifinals later this week in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Now, a lot of other matches going on today in terms of the South Atlantic Conference Tournament and the play here in the quarterfinal round. When you look at that, I think Queens took the number 1 position, so they square off against the 8 seed. You've got Wingate took the 2 spot, so they'll square off against 7. Obviously, LMU, the 4 team, against number 5 Coker, so a couple other matches taking place. We'll be down to 4 by the end of the day, and then those 2 teams will fight it out for a spot in the 2013 SAC Men's Soccer Tournament Championship later on in the week as well. Now, LMU will have the ball to open the second half as Coker opened the first 45 minutes of play with possession. Really doesn't mean a whole lot unless you take it down and stick it right in, but right now we've got a very good match going on here today. We knew it would be. All of the rail splitter matches this year have been close with the exception of one 4-1 decision that LMU won over Trevecca, but at least for now, both LMU and Coker very evenly matched. They were very evenly matched when they squared off back in September, and we're underway in the second half here in Harrogate, Tennessee. LMU going back to what really started things off in the very dominating first half of possession for them by controlling it from the defensive backfield and then sending it on upfield, chipping away at that offensive or the defensive set, finding the gaps and playing it upfield a little bit at a time. Coach L likes to refer to it as chipping away and chipping away at the defense. But you can see LMU very methodical in the way they attack that defensive structure of Coker. Now here's a ball right down the middle, headed toward the corner of the box by George Byrne, challenged in that area. Lau trying to bring it down under pressure by 2 defenders from behind. Brings it down near midfield, plays it out up to Solomons and turned over into possession of Coker. Ball across the midfield, long ball. LMU with numbers here. Callum Home going up for the challenge, and LMU will win that. But now it's Bryson Lynn under pressure from the far sideline. Sends it up line, and it'll be out of play back to the Cobras. Callum Home checking it out off the far sideline into the dugout area, and that'll be a throw-in for Coker right in front of the dugout area. Fans from both teams out there in attendance today. Rail Splitters with a pretty good turnout here on campus, considering the Lady Rail Splitters are on the road today over at Salisbury. They were en route earlier this afternoon. Barbadeets will kick it up short, and Yuri Passos is going to take it himself up as far as he can. Plays it out over to Sanders. Sanders looking things over as he approaches the midline. Out wide to the near side. This is Rivera back across to Passos. Passos across to Sanders at midfield. Actually, correction, that's Solomons. Now back to Home. Home going long ball, trying to find the feet of Pinto. Couldn't get there. Leal had it knocked away in midfield. Here's Johnson. Johnson carrying across midfield. Rivera stands him up and forces him to back it off a bit, and this is Snell. Snell uses drop back to Bedoya, and he'll switch the field opposite side. Comes back to Lum. Played back now to Kuros, and over on the near side of the field to Snell. Snell sends one deep. That'll ride out of play, and Lincoln Memorial will have a throw in off the near sideline. Rivera will drop it back to Johnson. And again, he'll allow the Rail Splitters to get shape. Up and away to Solomons. Solomons looking long ball. Headed back. Pinto's going to try to bring it down. Nice job by the Cobras defensively as Kuros maintain possession. Jackson has it checked out of bounds by Gus Rivera. But what a player he's turned out to be this year. I never would have thought it as a redshirt freshman. He was kind of a jokester in the press box area, and boy, he has just turned out to be a serious competitor. Ball knocked off the near sideline. That possession will go to the Cobras. And the throw-in will come from Snell. Up line. Jackson can't handle. Kicked away again by Rivera. And so the throw-in for the Cobras will come in this time from Matt Taylor. No, he's going to leave it. Snell will take it. Cobras trying to lock it in here. Jackson brings it down, plays it back to Snell. Cross into the box, headed away by Home, out to Solomons. First half, we saw Coker kind of start off with a lot of urgency and a lot of energy, trying to take the fight right at the Rail Splitters. The Rail Splitters weathered a couple of hard storms and then really kind of reversed things and took the fight right to Coker. Very similar here in the second half, and we're now about 5 minutes in. Cross to the top of the box. Nobody able to get ahead on it toward the goal, and Jackson will play it out. Heroes crosses it, headed up and away by either Sanders or I believe that was Sanders. Now Solomon's running the far side, cuts back toward the middle of the field, plays it across to Pinto. Pinto lets it go through. Picking it up is Sanders on the near wing. Back to Lau. Lau makes a good move, plays it out wide far side. This is Bryson Lynn. Cross into the box area. Pinto going up strong, can't get there. And that ball will ride out off the end line. The keeper had come out on it, was trying to punch it away, and up in the air with pretty good vertical right there was Mario Pinto. Score still tied 1-1. LMU picking up the own goal while the Cobras received a score from Corey Johnson. Throw in coming into the backfield of Coker. This is Snell from the near sideline. He's under pressure from Sanders. Sends the ball across midfield, headed once. Second ball kicked back across the midline by Home. Passos will check it up to Solomons. Pinto with a great flick. And one of the Cobra players there to answer defensively. Bryson Lynn pushed off the ball, gets it back. Bryson Lynn just a pit bull over there when it comes to battling with the bigger players. And now we've got a foul called apparently on Lincoln Memorial. .38-10 to play here in regulation. Just about 7 minutes into the second half. Long pause in the action here. Ball on its way to the area of the field outside the top, and Layout comes up with it, plays it over to Solomons, and he'll drop back to Lynn. Now to Passos. Rail Splitters going back to work in that methodical attack. Over to Lynn. Lynn crosses the midline. Pinto back further in the midfield than you normally see him. Here's Holmes sending one right up the gut. Pinto making a run down the far sideline, and that'll ride out of play. So the Cobras with a throw in from the far sideline. Ball challenged at a third field. And a whistle by the referee. That'll be a foul on Lincoln Memorial. Here's Snell from the near sideline. Sanders not really eager to pressure him a whole lot. Jackson takes over. Back to Snell, checked out a play by Sanders, and that'll be a Cobra throw in from the near sideline. The drop pass back to Bedoya. And now Lum will take over and back to Bedoya. George Byrne putting the defenders under, or the offensive players back there under a little defensive pressure. Kind of a role reversal with Byrne being a offensive forward and those guys being the last line of defense back there. Now a throw in by the Rail Splitters opposite side of the field. And just as we saw in the first half, things starting to switch to the Rail Splitters' favor in terms of possession. LMU had a few opportunities. Coach Dana said as in retrospect about the Wingate match that it wasn't the kind of match you were going to get a whole lot of shots on goal. Pinto rips one from way out. That's going to be wide left, and it would have been well over the post. But, you're not going to get a lot of opportunities, but the ones you get, you got to make count, because if you don't, you could lose a match like that 1-0. And in that particular case, the Rail Splitters lost on a penalty kick. But, in fact, Coach Dana said that it was a handball in the box. It's hard to ignore something like that if you're a referee, and it happened in a critical area. Layout with a shot right to the right post. Keeper steps in front of it, and that'll be a keeper save. Marginal as to whether it would have gone in. It was right at the right post, but it may have had a chance. Hard to really tell from this angle. Bedoya switches the field, far side. Sent up the far sideline. Bryson Lynn checking the Cobra player, and LMU bench adamant that should be LMU possession, but the linesman didn't even see it that way.
Good, Callum.
Nice job by Callum Home to play the ball out of bounds. Came here as a freshman and got a lot of playing time, but boy, what a real find he was for Helio Dana to come into this program and slowly work his way into being an all-conference type player. Passos knocked to the pitch back in the far corner, and that ball played across. It'll be out of play. That should be a Lincoln Memorial throw-in. Johnson under no pressure back there and able to push it up. Here's Sanders. The Cobras are really picking up the Rail Splitters just shy of the midfield line. They're not trying to press really, really hard. Leal up to George Byrne. Byrne showing the strength. The big freshman battling over there. Shot wide left of the post. That was hit by Lincoln Memorial's either Alessandro Leal or Harry Solomons. I couldn't really see which one of them hit it. I think it was Leal. So Coker with a goal kick. Long ball across the midfield line, challenged by Lincoln Memorial's Yuri Passos. Second ball taken by Pinto. Coker regaining possession. Here's a run up the far sideline. Cross to Jackson. Johnson will clear it out off the far side of the field, and a good decision as that one had a lot of momentum behind it. Shot wide of the left post. And Coker's starting to let a few rip. Again, folks, regardless of what it is with Lincoln Memorial University Athletics, if you'd like to keep up to date on everything going on with LMU Athletics, pull up the LMU Athletics website, www.lmurailsplitters.com. Here's Home out of the backfield up to Passos. Passos will play it for Pinto on the far side of the field. just off the head of the defender, and that'll be a corner kick for Lincoln Memorial, far corner. Harry Solomons is going to trot over there to take the corner for the Rail Splitters. We've already seen it just takes just a breath, just a very slim glimmer of light to put that ball in there. Lau puts it in the box. This is Passos with his back to the frame. Makes his turn, and the ball checked out of play, back to Lincoln Memorial. Rail Splitters still trying to lock it in. Snell clears it away upfield. That goes out off the near sideline, and Sanders will have the throw in. Ball to the corner of the box, headed by Johnson. Kicked back toward midfield. Two Rail Splitters there. Jackson gets ahead on it, and Bryson Lynn back there under pressure. He'll play it back to Barvanits. Barvanits clears it away. And now Home will take it at the third field. Up to Solomon. Bad first touch taken down by Andrade. Lincoln Memorial gets it back. Lau playing cat and mouse with a couple of defenders there right at the midline. Up to Sanders. Sanders plays it out to Rivera. Rivera from the near sideline. And the ball knocked out of bounds, last touch by Snell. Snell trying to plead to the official that he was tripped up, and the linesman didn't see it that way. 29 minutes to play in regulation. Ball headed out off the inline. That'll be a corner kick for the Rail Splitters. George Byrne had gone up. I don't know if he got the head on it or not, but it did in fact touch one of the Cobra defenders before going out of play. So this corner will be taken by Mario Pinto. Pinto's corner on its way. Nice ball into the box, headed away. Byrne sending it back in. It's dancing around in the box. Passos got a piece of it, cleared out. Nothing but white jerseys there. Home sends it out wide to Pinto near sideline. Crossed back over. Byrne sitting on the backside. That ball headed to the left post by Lau, and the keeper right there to grab it. Kendall Cobb unchallenged there either. That had a high arc on it, and really it was just like catching a fly ball. Here's Snell from the near sideline. Sends it across the midline, way past Johnson. That'll go to the corner. And Johnson's going to let it ride off the inline, and that's probably a pretty good decision, as now Marcel Barvanits can set it up and kick it away.
I had a dream about your cat, actually, and I met him and stuff. Yeah, which is really
Passos over to Sanders. Back to Passos. Passos looking for some options as he crosses midfield. Gives off to Sanders near sideline. He's put under pressure. Up to Rivera. Rivera trying to keep it in play and does not, as he looked like he might have tripped up on his own. And we've been really fortunate with the weather here over the last few weeks in terms of the field. The field has stayed in relatively good shape. Check pass over to Lynn, far sideline. Rail Splitters still trying to find a gap here. Sanders gives it out to Passos. Chip shot to the right side of the box, headed away by Snell. Passos will switch the field. Home will try it from the other side. And Home rips one from way out. Not sure where he was going with that one, maybe over to Middlesboro, but it'll go wide left to the goal and hits the backstop, and that'll be a goal kick for the Cobras. 26:08 to play in regulation. We're tied at a goal apiece. Passos will check it back to home. Back up to Passos. Away and over to Sanders. Up the middle, pass intended for Leal. Solomon's got it. Leal got a piece of it then. And now the ball cleared away, and it'll come out of play off the near sideline. Rivera letting it go, and he'll have the throw in. Back to Johnson. Over to Home. Up to Solomons. Now to Leal on the far side. Weaves his way through the traffic. Plays it out wide to Lynn. And again, the Cobras answer the defensive call. Nice break here by the Cobras. This is Corey Johnson. And that ball knocked off of Lincoln Memorial out of play far sideline. We may have a substitution now for the Cobras, as it appears. Hard to really tell who that was, went out of play. Staring directly into this afternoon sun, folks. One of the bigger misjudgments on my part that I've made. I did not wear my cap this afternoon, and I have no visor whatsoever to see. Foul apparently called on Lincoln Memorial. (24-17). Clock continuing to run and still in anybody's favor. Here's Johnson. Had his leg up in the air, was hit hard, no call by the official. Snell sends it back across the midline. Johnson there all alone. He'll bring it down. And now he directs a little bit of traffic as Home will take over. Johnson still holding that right calf as he took a shot in the leg when he was up in the air kicking it away. Home pushes across midfield, plays it out wide to Rivera. Back to Sanders, and finally Johnson takes over. Rail splitter just kind of knocking it around. Leal slipped on the surface. The ball was lost. Now an opportunity for the Cobras. Now advantage to the Rail Splitters. This is Byrne. Byrne rips one left side, and it's deflected. That'll prompt Corey Johnson to recover for the Cobras. Played out wide far side by McCarron. Back to the midfield. Up near the midline, McCarron plays it out far sideline. Callum Home getting there, knocks it out far side. That pass was intended for Noah Gully. LMU ready to get a substitution in there on the next opportunity, but they'll have to wait till it's their throw-in or until the Cobras also make a substitution. Added away at the top of the box. Cobras still trying to chip away. That ball kicked out off the end line, and so that'll get Nick Bogeman into the lineup for Lincoln Memorial as he will come in to replace Alessandro Leal. And with 22 minutes now remaining in regulation, neither team has shown any indication of breaking this tie here in the last few possessions. Solomon's out to Lynn, far sideline. Drops back to Home. Up to Johnson. Way over to Home again, up the far sideline. This is Solomons. Chips it up to Lynn, tried to flick it. Lynn trying to get there and cannot save it. Actually, he did save it. It was off of one of the Coker players. And so a corner kick for Lincoln Memorial as Solomons will take it again. You got Bogeman in there and Home and Byrne, even Pinto that elevate really well in the box. Johnson, also one of the bigger bodies over there. Passos can get up for his size, so you got some guys in there with some leaping ability. It's just a matter of getting in the right position and getting this ball placed in the right area. Ball to the box, bending hard. Hit out by Bedoya. Gary Passos trying somewhat of a bicycle. And LMU with yet another substitution, as it appears that Pedro Villa is ready to check in, and he will come in to replace Harry Solomons.
Go, Pedro!
Ball kicked across midfield. Passos will head it back.
Open your eyes, ref!
Villa back in there battling along with Lynn over there on that far sideline now. Byrne shielding the ball. And it will be an LMU throw-in as Bryson Lynn will set up to take it. Pretty good looking ball into the box that time. LMU just not able to get ahead on those. Home going up nicely. Now a foot race to the ball. This is Villa. You're not going to beat him to it, and he'll check it back to Barbanitz. Over to Home. Up to the midline. This is Passos under pressure. Plays it across to Sanders. Out to Rivera near sideline. Checks back to Bogeman and back to Johnson. Over to Home. Passos making his turn. Splits a few players, has it knocked back. Sanders will recover near midfield. Nobody pressuring. Has a chance to turn. He'll carry a little bit of space. Plays it out over to Pinto through the legs. Bedoya sends it back toward midfield. Sanders plays it over the defender's head. Checks it back over to Home, and he'll track it down toward the far sideline. Through the gap up to Pinto at midfield. Pinto looking for something on the opposite side, trying to reverse his flow. Ball got knocked away, deflected, taken down by McCarron. And now it's Gully near midfield. Checks back far sideline. On the run that time, it was Andrade. And a substitution for both teams, as it appears Jackson will come back into the lineup for Coker. Checking back in for Lincoln Memorial, Alessandro Leo. Clock down to about 17 and a half minutes to play. Throw in for Lincoln Memorial. Bryson Lynn will take it. Villa trying to keep it in inbounds over there. Tripped up. Lincoln Memorial begging for a call right there. The ball finally knocked out in favor of the Rail Splitters. Rivera to midfield. Up to Passos. Passos looking over options. Chips one for Rivera down the near sideline. He's in a foot race with Snell. Keeps it in play. Snell battling. Takes it away on the end line and plays it back to his teammate Matt Taylor. And that ball knocked out of play by Lincoln Memorial. I am assuming that today, if we end in overtime 1-1, we'll go to a PK shootout. Yeah, we are told that that will be the case. Now, if that happens, I don't think you'd have an official winner. One team would advance to the semifinals by virtue of the PK shootout. There's no, it still goes down, I think, as a tie. hopefully that will not happen. Hopefully we'll have a winner one way or the other. But Johnson up to Passos. Long ball headed away by Byrne. Rivera has it under pressure from behind. Lau way out, shoots right at the keeper, and a keeper save. Didn't have a whole lot on it, and not much effort by Kendall Cobb to make that grab.
You just mad because you don't sound like she looking.
Johnson looking from the far sideline. Plays it over to Rivera. Now back to Johnson. Up to the midfield. This is Villa. Now Byrne takes over. It's a pass over to Lynn, far sideline. Lynn trying to split the double team. Byrne takes it. Byrne on an attack from the left side of the box. Rips one. It's deflected back. Looked like LMU was going to have a real opportunity right there, but again, the defenders for Coker in the right place, right time. Rail Splitters stealing it back now at midfield. Pass up to Lau. Over to Sanders. One more now to Rivera on the near sideline. Rivera, foot race, trying to cross it off of Snell off the end line, and that'll be a corner kick for Lincoln Memorial. Mario Pinto will take it. And again, the Rail Splitters will push up into the box as we're down to about 14 minutes, 20 seconds remaining in regulation.
Let's go, LMU!
Rail Splitter fans want to see their team advance to the semifinals. Of course, a year ago, LMU advanced all the way to the championship before falling 1-0 in overtime. Ball into the box, punched out by somebody. I don't know if it was a head or the keeper's hand. Villa from the far sideline. Goes to the deck, and a foul called on Coker. It's as good as a corner as you'll have Yuri Passos that'll go over there and take the kick. So he'll be looking to try to cross something and find the head of George Byrne or Callum Holm or one of those big guys in the box area that can head it past the keeper. Passos setting it up at the point of the foul. Here's the ball. Bedoya knocks it out. This is Alessandro Leal. Pinto sends it back out near midfield to Rivera, over to Sanders. Sanders crossing it at the top of the 18. Villa had it knocked away from behind. Headed across midfield by the Cobras, and it is tracked down by Lincoln Memorial's Gus Rivera and back to Barbanitz. It appears the Cobras are in no hurry to attack Lincoln Memorial. They're content to let LMU take the fight to them and just sit back there and deny their opportunities offensively. And they've done a pretty good job of it. I mean, LMU had 3 shots on goal at the end of the first 45 minutes of play. They've got 5 now. It's 5-1. So no more shots on goal other than the goal scored by the Cobras' Corey Johnson in the first half, and he wasn't a starter. Rivera brings it down. LMU with an opportunity here, using a lot of space. Here's Pinto from the right side. Crosses to the top of the 18. Ball knocked out off the head of one of the defenders. This is Villa. Plays it to Byrne, knocked away by Johnson. Sanders will recover outside the top of the box. Works his way to the left corner. And that ball knocked away as it will be a goal kick for Coker. Substitution for Lincoln Memorial. Harry Solomons will return to the lineup, as that is Keegan Sanders that comes out. And checking back in for the Cobras. I'm not sure if he's been in the lineup yet. I believe that's Chris Martin that just checked back in. Hard to say. Martin getting involved right away as his ball off the far sideline. Now this is Jackson on the run. Jackson has it checked out by Callum Home, and again, another strong defensive effort by the senior from East Kilbride, Scotland. So throw in for Coker, far sideline. We're under the 11-minute mark here in regulation. Throw to the box. Here's Martin trying to rein it in. Got rail splitter jerseys all around him. That ball off the end line. That'll be a goal kick for Lincoln Memorial. Nice job defensively by LMU's Nathaniel Johnson.
Let's go, Marcel.
LMU will not go long ball as they'll work it up the field behind the leg of Callum Home. They'll switch the field near side to Gus Rivera. Back to Johnson. Passos across the midline to Villa. Ball knocked out of play far sideline by the Cobras, and LMU with a throw-in. If you're Coach Eliodana, you got to be pleased with the way the Rail Splitters have played tactically today. I mean, they have executed their possession game. They've just not been able to find the back of the net yet, and that's the way these kind of matches are. When you get into the late postseason, you know, a new sense of urgency is brought about by a lot of teams, and they play maybe above their heads or better than they sometimes or even think they're capable of playing. Passos will bring it down. Under pressure from behind. Plays it up, pass intended for Pinto, and he's not going to have the legs to get there. That throw in will go to the Cobras. Ball up line.
Good job, Nate.
Johnson knocks it out as he is really battling with the much larger Noah Gully. Gully listed at 6'5", a freshman out of Pawleys Island, South Carolina. But Johnson's probably given up 20 or maybe even 25 pounds to him. Here's Lau, far side over to Villa. Villa under pressure from Jackson. Played back to Home, and he'll restructure things for the Rail Splitters. Villa making a run up the far side of the box. Cross back to the top of the area, and apparently their linesman said that ball was out of play when Villa made his kick to keep it in, and that'll be a goal kick for the Cobras. You know, things looked as though LMU was going to carry that into the half with a 1-0 lead, but you got to give credit to Coker. They got one opportunity, they took a shot, and they made it count. And to this minute, to this second, that is their only shot on goal. And we are tied at 1-1. Here's Snell out from the near side, knocked away by Pinto. And substitution now for Coker as the Cobra player is calling his teammate off, and doesn't look like he's in any hurry to get out of there. That appears to be Matt Taylor that will go out. Corey Johnson re-entering the lineup. He was the Coker player that scored the goal earlier. Lau heading it away. Now it's Lynn that sends it upfield for the Rail Splitters, brought down by George Byrne. He'll play it out wide to Villa. Byrne slipping on the surface as well. So footing maybe not as good out there as we thought it was, but apparently well enough to play here today. We have a timeout called by the referee, official stoppage in play. 6:07 on the clock, and I think George Byrne had probably come in studs up and knew it, and got the Coker player, and he's trying to shake it off, and he was fortunate not to get a card right there. So Villa's going to come out of the lineup, and Sanders will return for Lincoln Memorial. That'll shift Harry Solomons around on the field. We are getting down to crunch time here in regulation. Cross to the box. Lynn sends it out of there. Pinto all alone near midfield. He was sending one on upfield, I think intended for Alessandro Leal, but Leal not even close to that. He led him a little bit much. Here's Jackson outside the top of the box. Barvanits will go get it. We have not seen Barvanits. I don't know that we've seen him punt it at all today. He has been very, very methodical in the fact that he gives it to his defensive backfield and lets them work it up slowly. They have not tried to send it upfield much at all. Jackson pushes across the midline. Sends it through the gap off the feet of Burns. Burns gets around the defender, plays it out wide, intended for Lau, and that ball is going to be turned over. Whistle by the official. Another stoppage in play. 4:45 on the clock. And Bryson Lynn over there having some problem either with the equipment or something of that nature. He might have even had a broken shoelace. I don't know. He just pulled his shoe off. All knocked out. It'll go back to Lincoln Memorial.
Where is it?
It's over here on now. Oh, it's on the other side. It was.
Throw in from Lynn. Headed by Byrne toward the box. Mario Pinto was waiting on it, but so were several Coker players. Here's Rivera. Plays it over to Home. Home, high arcing ball to the top of the box. Pinto trying to find it. Headed out. Pinto will pull it down after being headed by Sanders. Works his way across under pressure. Pinto gets possession of it, plays it out wide to Lynn. Lynn chips it, has it sent back to him, gets it back again, fights his way around the defender, then lost it from behind. And now Coker on a run. LMU scrambling to get back defensively. Played across to Martin in the middle. 3:40 to go in regulation. This is McCarron, has it knocked away by Pinto and now stolen back by Lum. But Leal gets it for Lincoln Memorial.
Go to the ball!
Pinto, far side, under pressure from behind. Plays it through the gap, Leal out front, chip shot over to the near sideline, intended for Leal. Snell will send it to midfield.
Sick! Got him!
Rivera
That was nice.
to Passos. Played back to Rivera and over to Johnson.
3 minutes, White.
Up to Solomons, far sideline. Lynn running the break. He's got some speed. Ball knocked off of the defender, and that'll be a throw in for Lincoln Memorial, far corner. 2:40 to play in regulation. A goal from this point in would be devastating for the team that didn't get the goal. Solomons Cross into the box. Actually, never made it. It went out off the left side, and that'll be a goal kick. 2:10 to go. Long ball to midfield. Lynn can't get there. It'll ride out off the far sideline, and that will be possession to the Cobras. Throw in up line. Jackson trying to get there. Kicked out off far sideline, and again, Cobras will maintain possession. Both goals scored in the first half. Neither team given an inch here in the second. Throw in from the far sideline. Headed away. Burns steps up on it. Jackson checks it over far side. Across the grain, Johnson clears it out from in front of the frame. That was a dangerous ball. And that will be a corner kick for the Cobras. Folks, I told you a goal at this point would be just a crushing blow to the team on the other end of it. The corner will be taken by Tony Kuros.
1 minute remaining in regulation.
There you hear, we're under a minute mark now in regulation. Defense has to be tightened. Kuros with the kick to the box. Headed away by Byrne, and that one well outside. Snell under pressure, sends it deep down and out off the end line. And it looked like Lincoln Memorial's Alessandro Leao took a pretty good shot in that defensive effort. 30 seconds left. At least for the time, doesn't appear like either of these teams are going to be able to decide it in regulation. Holmes sends a long ball to the far sideline. Byrne trying to pull it in. Plays it past the defender. Picked up by Solomons.
10, 9.
Solomon still holding
8,
possession.
7, 6.
Ball
5,
off the end line.
4, 3, 2,
and
1, 0.
We are out of regulation and we are going to overtime. Folks, we've played 90 minutes. We're still tied 1-1. No score throughout the second half. We'll take a break and we'll be back. This is the Lincoln Memorial University Sports Network.
Looking for efficient, compassionate, and comprehensive health care for you and your family? Visit University Medical Clinic. All providers are faculty members of LMU's DeBus College of Osteopathic Medicine and are board certified in their specialty. Multiple specialties available including family medicine, pediatrics, OBGYN, and osteopathic manipulative medicine, with locations in Harrogate, Tazewell, and New Tazewell, and most insurance plans accepted. University Medical Clinic is here to serve you. Call 423-869-7193 for an appointment. University Medical Clinic. When you're traveling throughout the Tri-States, stay smart at Holiday Inn Express of Middlesboro. With nearly 60 rooms to choose from, fitness center, full complimentary hot breakfast bar, and seasonal pool, Holiday Inn Express of Middlesboro is all about catering to your travel needs. Our rooms are all equipped with flat screen TV, refrigerator, microwave, and we're conveniently located just seconds from the area's attractions. When you're on the road, stay smart at Holiday Inn Express, located on the Cumberland Gap Parkway, Middlesboro. Make reservations today by calling 606-248-6860.
Juggling my family schedule is a full-time job. Between school, dance practice, work, there's little time left to worry about much else. That's why I use real-time banking from Home Federal Bank. With real-time banking, I know that when I make a deposit, the money goes straight to my account. No delays, no waiting, no wondering. And I get to focus on what's important.
Real-time deposits, real-time access, real-time banking from Home Federal Bank. Always within reach.
It's the Old Town Grill.
The Old Town Grill is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grill, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
No matter whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Subway of Harrogate and Middlesboro has your fresh interests at heart. On your way to work, try one of our mouth-watering breakfast sandwich or flatbread omelets. If it's lunch or dinner time, choose from our wide selection of classic, select, or premium sandwiches, all made to your order. If you're serving a crowd, Subway has sandwich platters, giant subs, box lunches, and even cookie platters. Whether it's dine in or carry out, you can eat healthy and eat fresh at Subway. Subway, 362 Catawba Avenue in Harrogate and on the corner of the Village Square Mall, Middlesboro.
Since 1973, DeRoyal has been a leader and an innovator in manufacturing products for the healthcare industry. DeRoyal supplies more than 20,000 products and product lines such as acute care, orthopedics, wound care, and trauma. DeRoyal is proud to be the largest supplier of orthopedic soft goods to clinics and hospitals in the nation. Since its start in Tazewell, Tennessee, DeRoyal has grown to open factories in over 29 locations worldwide and employs over 2,000 people. DeRoyal, a name you can trust and an employer you can count on. Money Magazine recently ranked physician assistant as one of the top 5 jobs in America. Your career path to becoming a physician assistant begins at Lincoln Memorial University. PAs diagnose and treat patients and provide patient education, among many other responsibilities. At DeBus College of Osteopathic Medicine at LMU, you'll experience hands-on training in a state-of-the-art medical school. Receive a Master of Medical Science degree in Physician Assistant Studies upon completion of the 27-month program. Join the healthcare team. Your career path is here.
For great food, fun, and entertainment, visit the Oasis on Highway 25E in Harrogate, Tennessee, with a new drive-thru to better serve you. At the Oasis, you can enjoy a great lunch buffet or order from the great menu that the tri-state area has grown to love. Pizza, salad bar, and a tasty sandwich from the deli. And don't forget your favorite beverages. Check out the live music each week at the Oasis, where regional and local bands strut their stuff to a packed house. Or stop by and catch the big race on the big screen. All roads lead to the Oasis, 6341 Cumberland Gap Parkway in Harrogate, Tennessee. Phone in your order, 423-869-8000.
90 minutes of regulation in the books. This is how it works, folks. We go to one overtime period of 10 minutes. If things cannot be decided within that amount of time, we go to a second 10-minute overtime. If we can't get it done there, typically it ends in a tie during regular season play. But in postseason play, we go to what they call a PK shootout. A lot of time can still elapse off this clock. 20 minutes is an eternity. But in this situation, it's been called many things. Sudden victory, sudden death, golden goal. Whatever your cliche, whatever your terminology, the match will be over. The team that scores the goal, the winner, and we will go home. The team that wins will go on to the South Atlantic Conference Tournament semifinals. The team that loses, more than likely, and 99% probability, they're done for the year. No postseason hopes for them in the NCAA tournament. We are still not back out on the field here at the LMU Soccer Complex. Rail Splitters and Cobras, second round fight of a 2-round battle this year. And, boy, I tell you what, it has been as tight as you can get them. They've played twice. Both times they've gone to overtime. And they're still deadlocked. They didn't decide the first one. It ended in a 2-2 tie down in Hartsville, South Carolina. These two teams are as evenly matched as any teams that I have seen in the league this year, and they're very similar in their styles of play. I think LMU probably a little stronger up top with Mario Pinto. He scored 14 goals this year, one of the leaders in the conference, if not the leader in South Atlantic Conference goals scored. But equally so, the Cobras with Daniel Jackson up top, 6'1" senior out of Silver Springs, Maryland. They can be deadly at times. LMU's done a pretty good job on them defensively. Both teams, in fact, have very strong defensive efforts. And you can't say that Mario Pinto would have scored that goal earlier, although it did look like he did. It was ruled an own goal. Nonetheless, the keeper for the Cobras, that being, of course, Kendall Cobb, gave up the goal, as did Marcel Barbanitz. But now Barbanitz doing everything within his athletic ability to make the play. That one just out of his reach, and he really laid out for it. LMU will defend the goal to your right, while the Cobras will defend the goal to the left. Now, the Cobras somewhat staring into the sun. It's kind of coming in at a cross angle, but the Rail Splitters would be shooting with that somewhat to their back. So be interesting to see what happens here as we go to the first 10-minute overtime period. And again, LMU will have possession. We are underway.
Like metal. So complicated.
Lincoln Memorial starting out in that backfield again as they have the entire match. One of those philosophies, I guess, if you'll pardon the bad grammar, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Rivera out wide, far sideline, plays it up to Sanders. Sanders looking for an opening, finds Leal, far sideline. Leal across to Pinto, who gets a bump from behind, no call. Cleared out off the far sideline, and that'll be an LMU throw-in. 10 minutes can go very quickly in these overtime periods. Throw in to Byrne, and cleared away up the field by the Cobras. Johnson playing it back now for Coker. Up to McCarron, out wide on the near side of the field. This is Jackson trying to fight his way around Bryson Lynn. Does a nice job of it. Callum Home. Oh, my goodness. They're going to give Home a card. Home never even made contact with him. Looked like a dive by Jackson right there. Home never even touched him. So the Cobras will have the ball at a hard angle to the right post. And it appears that it will be Tony Quiroz that will take the kick, and he's going to be sent back a bit. Now, the linesman telling him that the ball was up. Quiroz stepping back to where the referee says the point of foul was, and no argument from the linesman, but the two did not agree in where the ball should be placed. Both teams, for the most part, out wide left side of the box. Quiroz bending one to the left post, punched out by Barbanitz. And that's going to go to the far sideline where LMU is unable to keep it in play. They just banged it off of the defender, and that'll be a throw-in for Lincoln Memorial. Home. Pushing it up toward midfield. Just a bit over 8 minutes remaining in this first overtime period. Here's Home. Direct ball far sideline intended for Lau. And that'll ride out of play untouched. Johnson flipping it over. Now the pass up and across the midline. Looked like a handball there. No call by the official. Jackson 1v1 on the keeper. If he gets there, off the left post. Oh, my goodness, how lucky can you get? Bryson Lynn was doing all he could back there. Barbanitz had come out on it, and it was an open goal for Jackson. He hits the left post. Is that fate? Has it meant that Rail Splitters would win this thing? I don't know. The cross off the backside of the frame, and that'll be a goal kick for Lincoln Memorial. You don't want to have too many shot opportunities like that, nothing to rely on. It won't go down as a shot on goal, but I've felt strongly about that in the past. And, you know, stranger things have happened, but, boy, that was a gift right there. Pinto. Checks back to Lynn. Lynn across to Johnson. And it looks like Lynn is still shaking out some cobwebs. He's holding his right hip right now.
I knew you were going to do it. My bad, I thought it was on your face.
Ball sent toward Byrne. Challenge. And that ball knocked away. Last touch by Byrne. That'll be Coker ball. Up to the midline, headed back by Gonzalez. Johnson trying to keep it in far sideline for the Cobras. Now Passos picks it up at midfield. Sends it through the gap. Check back by Lynn toward midfield. Passos again gets a touch. Up to Pinto. Pinto turns. Here's Byrne ripping one. And that one is over the backstop and very nearly got a vehicle going down through there. That would have been a game ball for a lucky fan right there. Long kick across midfield. Lynn elevating and sending the header back. Johnson checks it over to Jackson. Jackson being guarded by Lynn. Jackson fights his way around him. Sends the cross, and he'll go behind the net. As that'll be a goal kick for Lincoln Memorial. Played out wide, far side to Rivera. Passos going down the middle of the field, chested back by the Cobras. Jackson with a header at midfield, trying to bring it down, does so. Plays it back in to Andrade and stolen from behind by Pinto. Now it is Byrne pushed down from behind. No call by the official as he is still down on the turf and went down hard, and he is still down. Andrade from the near side. Byrne still trying to get up. Crosses it. Kicked away by Holm. And Callum Holm is in severe pain. He has gone down on the field. And holding, it looks to be his right shin. Stoppage in play with 4:23 on the clock. And the referee finally going to go back and check on him. The referee said there was no harm in the contact that took place there, but I tend to believe that Holm would not be down as long as he has been without there being some kind of contact. He looks to be fixing the shin guard, and he's going to get up and try to shake it off. Big, strong, tough kid from the UK. We're 23 on the clock. Corner kick awarded to the Cobras. They've had several of them here today. LMU very fortunate that they weren't eliminated just a moment ago. Pushing going on in the box now between Keegan Sanders and Corey Johnson of Coker. And the referee's going to go caution him about the physical contact again. It's been physical from the very start, and that's what Helio Dana really did not expect. It's not been as physical as most of the matches we've seen this year. But the referee giving Sanders and Johnson a pretty good talking to. Yuri Passos also holding the hands up in the air saying, hey, I'm innocent. Corner kick on its way. Dancing around in the box, cleared out of there by Johnson. It took a hop and was a loose ball in there. That ball sent out off the far sideline, and that'll be a throw in for Coker. Clock back to running again as we approach the 4-minute mark of the first overtime period. Good throw to the box. Johnson elevates, sends it up in the air. That'll go out off the end line, and a corner again for Coker. This one will come from the far corner. I have not had the opportunity to see a PK shootout since about 07, maybe even 06. Don't know that that's going to happen today, but if we go through 2 overtimes, it certainly will. Passos clearing it away again off the end line. That'll be another corner. Ball on its way into the box. Well over top of the defenders, and that'll ride out off the near sideline, throw in for Lincoln Memorial. Coker trying to lock the rail splitters in here and prevent an easy throw in. They know they've got the rail splitters backed up to their own goal. Bryson Lynn will have the throw in. Down line, intended for Byrne, shielding with the body. Byrne plays it back. Lynn looking to get rid of it, sends it up line. Header by Solomons, flicked by Pinto over to Lau. Lau sending a long ball down the middle. Pinto trying to get there, can't do it. Sent back, challenge, won by Sanders. Pinto fighting for possession, can't come up with it. Corey Johnson gets it for Coker. Across midfield to Jackson. Jackson weaving his way through the traffic, shakes a couple of defenders. Pushed off the ball by Byrne. Nice big physical play by the freshman. And now lay out to the far sideline. 1:55 to go in the first overtime. Leao sends the cross through the box off the near side, taken by Coker. Hits it across the midline. Callum home in a foot race with the big offensive player for Coker, and that ball played back to Barbanits. Tell you what, Noah Gully's got some wheels for a man his size. He's 6'5". Looks like he should be playing linebacker for somebody. Here's Passos on the run. Passos carried a lot of space, making a nice run. And the ball off the inline, last touched apparently by Lincoln Memorial, and that'll be a goal kick for the Cobras. 1:10 to go here in overtime. First overtime period. Rail Splitters and Cobras tied 1-1. Those two goals came in the first half. In fact, it was an own goal that was scored at 10:46 that gave the Rail Splitters a 1-0 lead, and then Coker got the equalizer at 41-46. Johnson gets the ball at midfield. Flicks it up to Solomons. Pass Byrne, he couldn't come up with it. Gully sent it to Jackson. Jackson being tracked by a couple of defenders. Had it knocked away by LMU, and that was Gus Rivera. The ball will go to the corner as there'll be a corner kick. 15 seconds left in regulation, in overtime rather.
10, 9, 8.
One last ditch effort by the Cobras. Ball across the box. Headed toward the frame. Barbanits grabs it. And we're going to the second overtime. We're tied 1-1. We'll take this timeout. We'll be back. This is the LMU Sports Network.
Make K&K Metal Sales your only stop for all your residential and commercial metal building needs. For the past 23 years, K&K Metal Sales has covered the tri-state area with quality custom roofing and siding with many grades, gauges, and colors in stock. If you're looking for complete steel or wood building packages or steel or wood trusses, K&K Metal Sales can help with that, as well as heavy-duty custom carports. Great folks and great prices. Stop by K&K Metal Sales located at 6986 Cumberland Gap Parkway or call 423-869-4261.
At Farm Bureau Insurance, you can manage your auto, home, and life policies any way you want. If you like the internet, get a quote and file claims online at FBITN.com. If you like to take care of your business over the phone, give us a call. If you like to email, send us a message, and we'll take care of you that way. But if you like an old-fashioned smile and handshake at the door, come down to the local office.
Today's broadcast of Lincoln Memorial University Soccer is brought to you by University Medical Clinic, with 2 locations to serve you in Harrogate and New Tazewell, Tennessee. University Medical Clinic. By Farm Bureau Insurance. By Old Town Grill. By Home Federal Bank of Harrogate, always within reach. Home Federal Bank. By Subway of Harrogate and Middlesboro. Eat fresh at Subway. By Holiday Inn Express of Middlesboro. Sleep smart at Holiday Inn Express. By Oasis Pizza and Substation. By DeRoyal, a name you can trust, a product you can count on. DeRoyal. By K&K Metal Sales. By Sleep Inn of Middlesboro. Dream better here at Sleep Inn. By the J. Frank White Academy. And by Lincoln Memorial University. Your career path is here.
Welcome back to the LMU Soccer Complex. Rusty Peace here with you as we go to the second overtime period. Rail Splitters and Cobras still deadlocked 1-1. You go back over the 2 matches that these 2 teams have played. They played 110 minutes down in Hartsville, South Carolina. They played 100 here. So a total of 210 minutes, and they've scored 3 goals apiece in those 2 matches, and still have not been able to break the tie. Unbelievable today how these 2 teams have fought, and you really hate to see either one of them have to end the year, but it will happen today. Now, whether it happens by virtue of a goal being scored in this second overtime period or in a PK shootout, one team will advance, one will go home. Coker really with an opportunity there in that overtime period as Jackson hit the left post with a shot, and Marcel Barvanitz not anywhere close to being able to make that play, and really it was very fortunate for Lincoln Memorial. Their entire season could have come to an end right there. Defending South Atlantic Conference Tournament runners-up from a year ago, the Rail Splitters in a battle here at home in the quarterfinal round matchup with the number 5 seed Cobras from Coker. Second overtime period. Rail Splitters will defend the goal to your left, Coker the goal to your right. LMU really did not have a whole lot of attack in that first overtime, but defensively played pretty well with the exception of that one shot off the left post. Set to get underway now as we have 10 more minutes to play to decide this thing, and if we cannot, we will go to a PK shootout. Ball up the far sideline. Immediately into the LMU end of the field. Harry Solomon's playing it back toward the frame. Pinto pressuring. And the keeper, that is Kendall Cobb, comes out and snatches it up off the bounce. Cobb will punt it away. Long punt across midfield. Passos battling. And that's going to be Lincoln Memorial possession as it came off of Gully, the big freshman for Coker. Here's Johnson away to home. Johnson looking over onto the near sideline. Gus Rivera now trying to find an opening. Plays it over to Passos through the gap. Across the top of the defender. Pinto trying to reel it in. Pinto lost it. Passos will recover. I'm not sure where Yuri was going with that one, but he plays it off the inline and wide right of the goal, and I think he just basically raised his hand to Coach L. Hey, I'm sorry. Coach L just threw his hands up in the air and said, what is going on? 8:19 to go here in this second overtime. Kick to midfield. Passos challenging, gets a head on it. And he's going to be whistled for the contact and the foul on Gully, the 6'5" Gully against Passos, who's about 5'8". So it'll be Snell that kicks it just the LMU side of the midfield line. Plays it back. Now back over to Snell. And a foul called on Coker somewhere outside the top of the box, and that'll be to Lincoln Memorial's credit. Already 2.5 minutes gone here in the second overtime. Ball sent up to Villa, who entered a few moments ago. This is Corey Johnson keeping it in for Coker. Plays it back toward the middle of the field. McCarron takes over. Andrade. And Johnson will intercept in the LMU defensive backfield. Up to Rivera on the near sideline. Rivera looking for help. Carries some space, dumps it back to Passos. Pass picked off and intercepted by Corey Johnson. Now played back. This is Bedoya. All checked out off the far sideline. That'll go back to Coker. 6:26 to play in the second overtime, final overtime. McCarron pushing up. Passos cut him off. Johnson steals away, and a foul called on Lincoln Memorial. They've got a Coker player down just outside the top of the box. And official stoppage called with 6:05 to play in overtime. Didn't see the contact. I know that LMU players were coming out of the woodwork trying to deny that ball. And the referee holding the athletic trainers off, saying to stay in the dugout, that individual's going to get up, but he's not made any movement to get up yet. That's McCarron that's actually down. You know, more times than not, when you see somebody go down like that, they're down in the most tremendous pain there is, and then all of a sudden they jump up and it's a miracle and they take off. A lot of acting going on some of these foul calls and some of the contact that you see in an effort to get the call. But in a large part, it's done in a lot of sports, just not as animated as you see it in soccer. LMU's going to create a wall out in front of this ball, taking no chances. Barvanit's directing things from back there at the frame. The wind is a crosswind blowing away from the goal. Should help the rail splitters a little bit, but you never can tell. 3 Coker players back there. Ball sent across the top. Dangerous. Knocked away. It's still dancing in there, and somehow Barvanit's got a hold of it. That was Corey Johnson again, who was in the right place, right time, and actually had a shot, and it was deflected. Ball kicked away out off the far sideline, and that is going to be Lincoln Memorial's throw-in just past the dugout area. Not too far off the top of the box area, far side of the field. Check back to Lynn. Plays it across the box. This is Sanders. Back to Rivera, out to George Byrne. Turns around, lets one go right to the feet of Pinto. Passos plays it across. Rivera trying to get there, saves it in play, still in play, taken by Sanders, back to Passos. Passos crosses into the box, headed away. Pinto rips one, and it's going to go wide right. Beautiful offensive effort by Pinto, but that ball well off the in line, and they're actually out on the right at the corner, and it'll be a throw-in. Corey Johnson with the header heads it out of play. That'll allow LMU with a throw-in right from the near bottom right-hand corner of your screen. 4:36 to go in overtime. Gus Rivera will throw it right to the box. Byrne heads it back. Ripped by Pinto, and looked like he might have been deflected. Rivera stood up by the defender. Deflects it off the defender, and it'll be a corner kick for Lincoln Memorial. Again, a bottom right corner of your screen. We approach the 4-minute mark. Mario Pinto will take the corner kick. LMU all over the Cobras here in the last couple of possessions. Cobra's very lucky not to have given up a goal in those last 2 attempts. Here's the corner. Punched out by the keeper. It looked like it was heading for the frame.
Was they off?
Nice ball, Mario!
So Coker's goalkeeper will have the goal kick. Apparently an offside call right there. Ball at midfield challenge. Passos heads it back across the midline. It'll go out of play, and Snell will have the throw in. 3:20 to play in the second overtime. Long ball intended for Gully, headed back toward the middle of the field by Rivera. Nate Johnson tracks it down. Sends it to the far corner. Villa's trying to get there, and that'll go off the inline. Goal kick for the Coker Cobras. Here's Cobb on the goal kick. And that one's going to go wide right. It'll go out of play, and LMU will get it back on the throw-in from the far sideline. Clock down to 2:38. Throw in to George Byrne, who tries to keep it into play. Byrne apparently kicked in the thigh area. Stoppage with 2:24 on the clock. Might have been kicked in the groin. It's hard to tell from here. We'll just go give him the benefit of the doubt. You don't want to see anybody kicked in that area.
Yeah, they called the foul before.
Byrne trying to shake out the cobwebs, so to speak. 2:24 to play. Referee giving him all the time he needs, and rightly so.
There's actually a skill.
Folks, if you've never seen a PK shootout, if this thing does wind up going to that, it is just on the edge of your seat type play. .224 on the clock. Clock has not started to run again yet. And now ball sent up line. This is Bedoya. Contested by Pinto. And a foul called on Lincoln Memorial as Pinto collided with Bedoya. Pinto is down out off the sideline, and another stoppage with 2:08 on the clock. Pinto looked like he might have got his foot stepped on or spiked in some way. Crowd doesn't have much sensitivity for the injury over here, but I guess that's justifiable. Nick Bogeman's going to come in and make an injury substitution, at least for the moment. Now, I don't know how this works in terms of if it goes to a PK shootout, if they have to be on the field or not.
You do.
And you would definitely want to get Mario back in there if, in fact, it goes to that.
You do.
Here's Snell from the near side. Johnson pressuring him hard defensively. Johnson with a great defensive effort. LMU crowd appreciating the defense. 1:50 to play here in the final overtime period. Gully will have the throw in for the Cobras. Rail Splitters have flirted with disaster a couple of times today with a shot off the left post by the Cobras back in, I can't remember if that was regulation of the first overtime, but you know, you're down to a minute and a half to play. There's a great throw by Gully into the box, and it is checked out by Lincoln Memorial. Gully should get possession of it again, and it'll go out of play back to the Cobras. Pinto has not yet made his way back to midfield to get back into this contest. Ball headed out off the inline, and there's a corner kick for Coker.
1 minute remaining in the second overtime. 1 minute.
I think you got to get Mario Pinto over there to the midline and get him back in. 48 seconds to play. Clock working its way down. Corner kick on its way across the box. That'll ride off the far side. Johnson will send it up line. And it will go to Snell, who sends it back to Bedoya. Back over to Snell. 24 left on the clock. Snell with a long ball. Headed back by Home, and there's nobody there but Keegan Sanders. And he'll play it off the near sideline. Bedoya trying to get there. 10 seconds left.
10, 9,
Thrown in by Andrade.
8, 7.
Johnson
6,
plays it back toward
5,
the middle of the field.
4. 3,
Shielded, it's Callum
2,
Home. Callum Home is going to get a card as he went for an intentional elbow to the defender. If he doesn't get a straight red, now that I don't think he actually made contact with the guy. There was no contact there whatsoever, but no argument from Yuri Passos as he knew that they committed the harm with 1 second left. And in most cases, you would probably get a red card for that.
That starts over, right? Like that's not his fifth, since it's new. He has 4.
Be on the field to take a PK. Yeah, he does.
They're saying 4 seconds on the clock. Folks, this thing's not over. Anything could happen right here. Heliodana up in arms about it. He can't believe that they've put 3 more seconds on the clock. I mean, that's an eternity when you can send the ball that far very easily. So the kick is going to be taken by Matt Taylor. The goalie's going to come up and provide an extra man now, as I don't think the Cobras are in any danger of. There's the ball into the box. Headed towards the goal. It's off the crossbar. Holy cow. LMU dodges the bullet again as we go to a PK shootout. Let's take this break. We're back after this on the LMU Sports Network.
Looking for efficient, compassionate, and comprehensive health care for you and your family? Visit University Medical Clinic. All providers are faculty members of LMU's DeBusk College of Osteopathic Medicine and are board certified in their specialty. Multiple specialties available including family medicine, pediatrics, OBGYN, and osteopathic manipulative medicine, with locations in Harrogate, Tazewell, and New Tazewell, and most insurance plans accepted. University Medical Clinic is here to serve you. Call 423-869-7193 for an appointment. University Medical Clinic. When you're traveling throughout the Tri-States, stay smart at Holiday Inn Express of Middlesboro. With nearly 60 rooms to choose from, fitness center, full complimentary hot breakfast bar, and seasonal pool, Holiday Inn Express of Middlesboro is all about catering to your travel needs. Our rooms are all equipped with flat screen TV, refrigerator, microwave, and we're conveniently located just seconds from the area's attractions. When you're on the road, stay smart at Holiday Inn Express, located on the Cumberland Gap Parkway, Middlesboro. Make reservations today by calling 606-248-6860.
Juggling my family schedule is a full-time job. Between school, dance practice, work, there's little time left to worry about much else. That's why I use real-time banking from Home Federal Bank. With real-time banking, I know that when I make a deposit, the money goes straight to my account. No delays, no waiting, no wondering. And I get to focus on what's important.
Real-time deposits, real-time access, real-time banking from Home Federal Bank. Always within reach.
It's the Old Town Grill.
The Old Town Grill is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grill, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
No matter whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, Subway of Harrogate and Middlesboro has your fresh interests at heart. On your way to work, try one of our mouth-watering breakfast sandwich or flatbread omelets. If it's lunch or dinner time, choose from our wide selection of classic, select, or premium sandwiches, all made to your order. If you're serving a crowd, Subway has sandwich platters, giant subs, box lunches, and even cookie platters. Whether it's dine in or carry out, you can eat healthy and eat fresh at Subway. Subway, 362 Catawba Avenue in Harrogate and on the corner of the Village Square Mall, Middlesboro.
Since 1973, DeRoyal has been a leader and an innovator in manufacturing products for the healthcare industry. DeRoyal supplies more than 20,000 products and product lines such as acute care, orthopedics, wound care, and trauma. DeRoyal is proud to be the largest supplier of orthopedic soft goods to clinics and hospitals in the nation. Since its start in Tazewell, Tennessee, DeRoyal has grown to open factories in over 29 locations worldwide and employs over 2,000 people. DeRoyal, a name you can trust and an employer you can count on. Money Magazine recently ranked physician assistant as one of the top 5 jobs in America. Your career path to becoming a physician assistant begins at Lincoln Memorial University. PAs diagnose and treat patients and provide patient education, among many other responsibilities. At DeBus College of Osteopathic Medicine at LMU, you'll experience hands-on training in a state-of-the-art medical school. Receive a Master of Medical Science degree in Physician Assistant Studies upon completion of the 27-month program. Join the healthcare team. Your career path is here. For great food, fun, and entertainment, visit the Oasis on Highway 25E in Harrogate, Tennessee with a new drive-thru to better serve you. At the Oasis, you can enjoy a great lunch buffet or order from the great menu that the tri-state area has grown to love. Pizza, salad bar, and a tasty sandwich from the deli. And don't forget your favorite beverages. Check out the live music each week at the Oasis, where regional and local bands strut their stuff to a packed house. Or stop by and catch the big race on the big screen. All roads lead to the Oasis, 6341 Cumberland Gap Parkway in Harrogate, Tennessee. Phone in your order, 423-869-8000.
Make K&K Metal Sales your only stop for all your residential and commercial metal building needs. For the past 23 years, K&K Metal Sales has covered the tri-state area with quality custom roofing and siding with many grades, gauges, and colors in stock. If you're looking for complete steel or wood building packages or steel or wood trusses, K&K Metal Sales can help with that, as well as heavy-duty custom carports. Great folks and great prices. Stop by K&K Metal Sales located at 6986 Cumberland Gap Parkway or call 423-869-4266.
Well, folks, we've played through 2 overtime periods here at the LMU Soccer Complex. Coker and Lincoln Memorial still tied at 1 goal apiece. Both goals came at the end of the in the first half, rather. So over a total of 220 minutes of play between these two teams this year, they have not been able to decide a tie, and it will go to a PK shootout. Now, we believe that they'll be going to the goal to our right. We don't know for sure, but each team will get to take a number of shots, and whoever has the most goals at that period of time will be determined the winner in terms of advancing in the tournament. Now, the match will end in a tie, officially, in the NCAA's eyes, but in terms of the PK shootout, one of these two teams will advance to the SAC tournament semifinals on Friday, and it will be by virtue of the PK shootout. So if they can't decide it in the first group of individuals, they'll go to a second group. And, folks, it doesn't get any more intense than this right here. I mean, you know, this is the sheer adrenaline of a match wrapped up all in one little instance here. It appears that LMU will defend on the opening of this stanza here. So Barvanits, as athletic as he is, if he can make 1 or even 2 saves, could be the difference in the match. Again, we feel as though I'm sure the keeper for Coker is a good keeper, but he really has not been tested today. Nor really, Barvanits has had 1 real shot at him. A couple of them, one hit the left post, the other one the crossbar just a couple of minutes ago in that final exchange in the second overtime. And so now the first shooter
the first penalty kick for Coker, number 9,
for Coker will be Steven Scrivens. And Marcel Barvanits comes out to size up his opponent. Been a long time since I've seen a PK shootout, and that was, I think my last one was over in Hickory, North Carolina in the NCAA South Region or Appalachian Region tournament. Barvanits can't make the save, and so the Cobras have a 1-goal lead, and now the keepers will switch places. And Callum Home is going to step up there for Lincoln Memorial.
For the Rail Splitters, number 2, Callum Home.
Again, the two teams have played so hard, you hate to see either one of them denied an advance to the SAC tournament semifinals, but ultimately somebody has to do that. The tennis practice has come to a stop over there on the courts, and now home tallies the goal. We're tied at a goal apiece. Folks, all it takes is one keeper save, and that could do it, really. Tennis practice is basically at a standstill. They're still playing a little bit over there, but a lot of them very interested in the outcome of this match. This is something you don't often see, especially here at Harrogate, since we have not had a PK shootout here in a while. Starts his run. Yes! Barbanich with the save. He is so athletic. Now, again, you're going to go through the full tally here. So now Harry Solomons is going to step in there.
Attempting the second penalty kick for the Rail Splitters, number 13, Harry Solomon.
Great save by Barbanich. Solomon's freshman in this Rail Splitter program from Leicester, England, 5'8". Kendall Cobb, the keeper, and Solomons blows it past him. So the Rail Splitters with a 2-1 lead in the PK shootout, and that'll put Noah Gully to take the penalty kick.
Attempting the third penalty kick for Coker, number 16, Noah Gully.
This match extremely tough for the Rail Splitters. Here's Gully's shot. And off the foot of Barbanich, but still in frame. And so, at least for the time, the Rail Splitters and the Cobras are tied 2-2. Yuri Passos next up for the Rail Splitters.
The Rail Splitters, number 5, Yuri Passos.
Passos, a 5'9" junior out of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Crowd almost completely silent here until the actual exchange takes place. And now tennis practice has come completely to a standstill. Here's Passos, starts his run and blows it past the keeper. 3-2 Lincoln Memorial. McCarron up for Coker.
Attempting the fourth penalty kick for Coker, number 24.
Most of the shots have gone to the keeper's right. And I don't know if there's an average of which side most players shoot for, but I'm certainly, if anybody knew, the keeper would know. Here's McCarron. Stopped by Barbanich. 2 stops by Barbanich, and it's 3-2 Lincoln Memorial. Now, we thought possibly Mario Pinto was not able to take the penalty, but due to the fact that it was an injury substitution, he has been allowed to take his penalty kick. Pinto, the leading goal scorer in the South Atlantic Conference at one point this season. I don't know that that's the case today, but 3-2 Lincoln Memorial. Pinto. Off the keeper's hands, and that'll do it. The Rail Splitters are advancing to the SAC tournament semifinals by virtue of the PK shootout. Mario Pinto tackled and wrestled to the ground by his teammates. Callum Holm making the stop, and then the rest of them go down there and pile up on Marcel Barbanich. And, well, I'll tell you what, Marcel Barbanich is going to be our University Medical Clinic Defensive Player of the Match without a doubt. And most likely we'll talk with Mario Pinto about today's match as well, as he seals the Rail Splitters' advancement to the SAC semifinals. And we'll talk to him about that own goal a little bit earlier tonight. Let's take a break, and we'll be back with your post-game wrap-up. This is the Lincoln Memorial University Sports Network.
At Farm Bureau Insurance, you can manage your auto, home, and life policies any way you want. If you like the internet, get a quote and file claims online at FBITN.com. If you like to take care of your business over the phone, give us a call. If you like to email, send us a message and we'll take care of you that way. But if you like an old-fashioned smile and handshake at the door, come down to the local office.
The J. Frank White Academy is more than a high school. Your child will have room to grow in mind, body, and spirit. Small, safe learning environments, individualized learning plans, and cutting-edge technology. Every child deserves a quality education in a safe, nurturing environment.
Our college prep program teaches a love of learning, self-discipline, and service to others. The Academy is fully accredited by Advanced Ed. You have a choice at the J. Frank White Academy.
Whether traveling for business or pleasure, Sleep Inn and Suites of Middlesboro, Kentucky invites you to dream better here. Located at the foothills of the Cumberland Gap, Sleep Inn and Suites offers luxurious rooms equipped with microwave fridge combo, desk, ergonomic chair, wireless internet, and 32-inch flat-screen TV. While staying with us, visit our fitness center, wake up to our complimentary hot breakfast bar, or have a bedtime snack with our fresh-baked cookies. Sleep Inn and Suites, located off Highway 25E, Middlesboro.
Money Magazine recently ranked physician assistant as one of the top 5 jobs in America. Your career path to becoming a physician assistant begins at Lincoln Memorial University. PAs diagnose and treat patients and provide patient education, among many other responsibilities. At DeBus College of Osteopathic Medicine at LMU, you'll experience hands-on training in a state-of-the-art medical school. Receive a Master of Medical Science degree in Physician Assistant Studies upon completion of the 27-month program. Join the healthcare team. Your career path is here.
For great food, fun, and entertainment, visit the Oasis on Highway 25E in Harrogate, Tennessee, with a new drive-thru to better serve you. At the Oasis, you can enjoy a great lunch buffet or order from the great menu that the tri-state area has grown to love. Pizza, salad bar, and a tasty sandwich from the deli. And don't forget your favorite beverages. Check out the live music each week at the Oasis, where regional and local bands strut their stuff to a packed house. Or stop by and catch the big race on the big screen. All roads lead to the Oasis, 6341 Cumberland Gap Parkway in Harrogate, Tennessee. Phone in your order, 423-869-8000.
Make K&K Metal Sales your only stop for all your residential and commercial metal building needs. For the past 23 years, K&K Metal Sales has covered the tri-state area with quality custom roofing and siding with many grades, gauges, and colors in stock. If you're looking for complete steel or wood building packages or steel or wood trusses, K&K Metal Sales can help with that, as well as heavy-duty custom carports. Great folks and great prices. Stop by K&K Metal Sales located at 6986 Cumberland Gap Parkway or call 423-869-4261.
At Farm Bureau Insurance, you can manage your auto, home, and life policies any way you want. If you like the internet, get a quote and file claims online at FBITN.com. If you like to take care of your business over the phone, give us a call. If you like to email, send us a message and we'll take care of you that way. But if you like an old-fashioned smile and handshake at the door, come down to the local office.
Today's broadcast of Lincoln Memorial University Soccer is brought to you by University Medical Clinic, with 2 locations to serve you in Harrogate and New Tazewell, Tennessee. University Medical Clinic. By Farm Bureau Insurance. By Old Town Grill. By Home Federal Bank of Harrogate, always within reach. Home Federal Bank. By Subway of Harrogate and Middlesboro. Eat fresh at Subway. By Holiday Inn Express of Middlesboro. Sleep smart at Holiday Inn Express. By Oasis Pizza and Substation. By DeRoyal, a name you can trust, a product you can count on. DeRoyal. By K&K Metal Sales. By Sleep Inn of Middlesboro. Dream better here at Sleep Inn. By the J. Frank White Academy. And by Lincoln Memorial University. Your career path is here. Whether traveling for business or pleasure, Sleep Inn and Suites of Middlesboro, Kentucky invites you to dream better here. Located at the foothills of the Cumberland Gap, Sleep Inn and Suites offers luxurious rooms equipped with microwave fridge combo, desk, ergonomic chair, wireless internet, and 32-inch flat-screen TV. While staying with us, visit our fitness center, wake up to our complimentary hot breakfast bar, or have a bedtime snack with our fresh-baked cookies. Sleep Inn and Suites, located off Highway 25E, Middlesboro.
I've been a hard worker all my life. It's just the way I was raised. I work the third shift. While most people are wrapping up their day, I'm just getting started. If I make a deposit on Friday night, I can't wait for it to go through the next week. Home Federal Bank's real-time banking is different. Real-time banking takes the worry out of banking. Lets me think about what's important.
Real-time deposits, real-time access. Real-time banking from Home Federal Bank. Always within reach.
The Rail Splitters win it here today and advance to the South Atlantic Conference Tournament semifinals later this week by virtue of a PK shootout. Now, if I'm not mistaken, officially the match goes in the book as a tie, but the Rail Splitters will advance to the semifinals by the PK shootout in which they won. Mario Pinto, our University Medical Clinic Player of the Match, joins us here. He's our Offensive Player of the Match. Mario, let's go back to the first half. I got to ask you, you know, everybody in the press box gave you credit for that goal. Did you hit that goal or was it an own goal?
Well, I tried to press the guy and I just hit, and I don't know if he hit after that. I just saw the ball get in the net and just wanted to celebrate. I didn't care if it was mine or not. I just celebrated with the team.
Nonetheless, we scored the goal. We went up 1-0. Corey Johnson comes back for them off the bench, scores the equalizer, takes us to 1-1. Over 2 matches this year, we play 220 minutes to a tie. We still can't split it between LMU and Coker. How evenly are these two teams matched?
Yeah, we knew that the game today was going to be even like the last one. And we were just trying to press them high and try to get a goal and finish the game in front of them. But at the second half, we had the goal and we worked for it, bring to the overtime, and we couldn't score. But thank God we could won, and Marcel could catch the PKs and we could convert our PKs. And
a lot of help from your teammates offensively there in that PK shootout, but it was kind of fitting that you were able to seal the fate of the Cobras and our fate of going to the South Atlantic Conference Tournament semifinals. Talk about that instance when you had the opportunity to step up there and take that shot.
Yeah, well, I was playing with Yuri. I said that I was going to be the fourth. I was going to finish the game, and thank God I could be able to finish that. Due to Marcel to get the PKs, we need to thank all of Marcel, and we could like be competent and score our goals, and that's it.
All right, this week, of course, we'll play the winner of one of the other matches going on right now in league play. And any preference as to who we'd like to face off against in the semifinals?
No, we don't need to pick who we want to get. It's going to be a hard game as last year and the year before. We just need to work for our team, and it doesn't matter who we play against. We need to win.
Well, Mario, we want to wish you the best of luck as you guys head down to Rock Hill, South Carolina for the SAC tournament semis. I know a year ago we were in the championship. We hope to see you guys in there again this year, and hopefully you'll be able to bring home the hardware. But best of luck, and great job today. Congratulations.
Thank you. We'll bring it to home.
All right, Mario Pinto, our University Medical Clinic Offensive Player of the Match. I'm going to step to this side, and Marcel Barbanitz is going to join us now. Marcel, our University Medical Clinic Defensive Player of the Match. Last time I saw you was Halloween Havoc before today, and we were talking about some of the candy and costumes today. Man, it was a tough day out there. We had a couple of balls. I know that first goal that got past you by Corey Johnson. You did everything within your ability athletically to get to it, but it was just a nicely placed ball, and you just couldn't get there.
It was an amazing goal. I mean, give credit to them. Actually, I think we were marked in the middle, and he just got a touch on the ball and perfectly in the goal. I mean, give credit to the striker there.
Late in the match, let's talk about this. I can't remember if it was regulation or in a first overtime. Ball hits the left post, scares the daylights out of everybody. Second overtime, we have one hit the crossbar. What's that like for you as a keeper to know that your life depends on this goal, denying this goal?
You know, sometimes you just need that necessary luck. You know, you put so much effort in a game, and I'm telling you, every time in soccer, it's gonna get payback. You know. And I think that's what we got today. We put so much effort, and we put so much effort against Wingate, and and we didn't get the win. So this time I think we got the necessary luck, and we deserve to win that game.
Deciding a match in regulation or overtime, I think, is an exciting thing. But, the PK shootout is something we don't really see very often. In the college game here in the United States, the only time we'll go to a PK shootout is in postseason play, and it was necessary today to determine who was going to go on into the semifinals. Let's go back to the first stop you made. I mean, obviously you want to make every stop as a keeper, your pride defensively, but that first stop was beautiful.
Well, thanks, first of all. In the PK shootout as a goalkeeper, it's easier than just in a single match, because you face at least, usually you face 5, So you don't necessarily have to go for the first, or you rather go second, third, because you don't have the pressure to save it right away. So I think it's kind of easier, and then you play some mind games with the strikers, and I think it worked today.
I noticed the first striker that came out today, you kind of stepped up there and sized him up a little bit, got a good look in his eye. I got to ask you, though, as a keeper, when you go to this PK shootout, is there one direction or the other that they tend to go to more than the other?
Well, one side, I have my way how I'm going to see it, and I'm not going to tell, obviously, because we keep going. But, yeah, there is, on the other side, it's a lot of luck as well.
All right. Second and final stop for you. Obviously, that one was one that really helped the cause. Talk about that one.
Well, the third one was close, so I told myself this one is not going to get in no matter what. And obviously, luckily, not obviously, but luckily, I got a touch on it, and then Mario finished the game.
I like the fact that you had contact on several of them. You got one off the foot. I think your hands got on one. All right, this Friday, of course, we're going to go into the semifinal round. I know for you, it's an opportunity to get back what eluded us last year in that South Atlantic Conference Championship. But, it's going to be a tough match whoever we play Friday.
But that is good. That is good because if you want to be the champion, you have to beat the best teams, right? And if you want to go further than just the conference level, you have to face the best ones. And I think that's what's hopefully going to happen.
Marcel, congratulations. Great stuff today. We enjoyed watching it, and we want to wish you guys the best of luck this week in the SAC tournament.
Thank you, Rossi, and great job with the broadcasting this season.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, Marcel Barvanitz, our University Medical Clinic Defensive Player of the Match. Again, the Rail Splitters will be in action later this week in the SAC tournament semifinals. The opponent not yet determined, but it will be a great match down there in Rock Hill regardless. And if you'd like more information on ticket information, if you'd like to go out and show support for the LMU Athletics teams and need that information, pull up the LMU Athletics website, www.lmurailsplitters.com. You can find all the latest on who the Rail Splitters will play, what time it'll get started, and much, much more. Ticket information also available there, so definitely check that out. Need to mention to you as well that in terms of today's broadcast, we're not really going to go through the statistics. We played 110 minutes. There were not many shots on goal, so LMU wins it by virtue of the PK shootout. Folks, your technical direction today by Adam Plyler, your camera operation by Adam Haley and by Sofia Lopez Miamendi, as well as Thomas Miracle. Thank you. New camera operator today. Tony Spinoza is your executive producer. This has been a production of Sigmund Communications and the LMU Sports Network. For everybody behind the scenes of Lincoln Memorial University men's soccer, the Rail Splitters advance to the SAC tournament semifinals. Until next year with soccer, so long, everybody.
Today's broadcast of Lincoln Memorial University Soccer has been brought to you by University Medical Clinic, with 2 locations to serve you in Harrogate and New Tazewell, Tennessee. University Medical Clinic. By Farm Bureau Insurance. By Old Town Grill. By Home Federal Bank of Harrogate, always within reach. Home Federal Bank. By Subway of Harrogate and Middlesboro. Eat fresh at Subway. By Holiday Inn Express of Middlesboro. Sleep smart at Holiday Inn Express. By Oasis Pizza and Substation. By DeRoyal, a name you can trust, a product you can count on. DeRoyal. By K&K Metal Sales. By Sleep Inn of Middlesboro. Dream better here at Sleep Inn. By the J. Frank White Academy. And by Lincoln Memorial University. Your career path is here.